then fix it. Because when she's done with it, it's going to reset all my parameters anyway. And I'll have to redesign the model. So I have a backup so that I can pull the color codes and stuff over, and I'll have to re-dye everything by hand. Which isn't going to be great, but I'm getting a free update to my model. So, you know, it's like, oh man, I have to do extra work because I'm getting free stuff. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, she's doing an overhaul. She's giving me some like shoulder motions and some extra stuff to do with my neck. Like the whole upper part of my body from like the necklace up is going to have a bunch more like movement and tracking attached to it. Okay. Far as I can tell, we are actually good to go for once. How was the rest of y'all's night after I finally went to bed? I basically immediately fell asleep. I was just like, hey, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you guys, and just dropped my phone in the floor. I woke up to it still being on at like 4 a.m, and I was like, wow, I really did go to bed. I was just like, I'm gonna go to sleep now. A brain immediately just turned off, and like I dropped everything and went to sleep. I don't know. I was having too much fun. It wasn't cozy last night. I was being ridiculous with you guys. I still can't believe I shared that story. Like afterwards, I did that Hagrid thing. Like, shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. Oh God. And then my youngest got up at 6 in the morning so that he could watch the rest of Shrek. He's happy though, so that's good. I need to, at this point, I think I actually need to just make my bedtime like an hour early or something, because he's getting up way earlier in the day. Side note, we actually have a stream later tonight. I was going to update my calendar and I haven't done that yet. So let's do that while we're sitting here yakety yakking. I'm going to add I'm going to update my calendar. Yes. So Marvel Rivals goes live an hour. Seek fluid intake. So, fine. Marvel Rivals goes live at 7 Eastern. Now, unfortunately, that's when we start our bedtime, right? We do like brushing teeth and reading books and that whole thing. However, when I get back downstairs from tucking them in, it's normally like around 8:30 Eastern. I'm thinking of just booting up Marvel Rivals and throwing myself face long into that game. It's free to play. It's Overwatch-like. And a lot of the characters actually look like they took some time to decide what they can do. And they've even talked about like anytime they need to make like changes or whatever, because all the superheroes have like so many like powers and stuff in the comics anyway, they can easily just like shift them to a different playstyle. So I'm not like a huge Marvel fan, but I am a shooter fan. And I have not found too many things that really go my way. Wow, I was really late yesterday. I did not realize. I'm looking at the calendar right now, and I was heckin' late yesterday. Whoops. Can I add a second stream on the same day? I don't know if it'll let me. Now that I'm affiliate, I have a different calendar than what we normally have. Is the category even available yet? It's only showing me Marvel Snap. Oh, there we go. That's weird. Apparently I spelt Marvel wrong the first time, and it actually brought up Marvel Snap, no problem. But it didn't bring up Marvel Rivals till I retyped Marvel. Okay. Wait, why is this saying I can't save changes? Why? I can only save changes if it repeats? That's dumb. I don't like that. Okay. When you try to save a duplicate date, if you already have a anonymous date on your calendar, it won't let you update your scheduling. There we go. Cool. We're good to go on that then. That's kind of all the maintenance I had to do today. My little short I made did all right though. Kind of excited. However, I've got to figure out YouTube's algorithm. Like, I have two accounts. I have my base Bonroku account, and then I have Bonroku Shorts, right? The Shorts account, I've put multiple shorts on, and they have been shown to 0 viewers. It's not like, oh, people aren't engaging with it, so it's kicked out of the algorithm. It's literally not put in the algo to start with. And I don't know how to fix that, unfortunately. Yeah, the mouth tracking is throwing me off so bad right now. It's driving me crazy. What is the why? I don't know. I don't know. I have I've tried what I'm doing now is I'm pulling all my shorts off. I'm updating the channel and I'm going to give it like a week, and then I'm going to repost my shorts and have them set as calendar days, so that like at noon every day it'll post a new short or whatever. And see if that fixes it, because like the algorithm's really weird. Sometimes certain things that you don't think matter like a lot. And when my videos get in rotation, they do well, but sometimes they're literally just not placed in rotation at all. I did a series for Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice 2 or whatever it was called. Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. Yeah. Anyway, there was these little like nodes that gave you like lore bits. So I made a linking short series that played each one of the lore bits in a row. And if you started the first one, it would immediately go to the next one. So you heard the stories that were divided across all the levels. There was like 17 of them, and you only got to hear snippets per level, but it was actually one story altogether. So I went through all the I used that for like my editing practice. And I need to shrink myself still here in a minute, so we're just going to deal with Big Me, and then I'll fix it. So I jumped through all these hoops to splice all these down, cut them, have them like fade in and out, and like change to each set so it would like auto update or whatever. And halfway through, I was getting, I don't know, 500 to 2,000 views per video and like a really good click through rate and that type of stuff. And then I hit like video like 15, and they just didn't push it forwards to the algorithm. 14 fine, 16 fine, 15 could not upload. I had the same issue when we did the entrails thing. Remember how we were eating bugs, and one of them said entrails and the other one said intestines. The one that was intestines wouldn't got me banned from TikTok for like a week. I tried to upload it multiple times, and every time I tried to upload it, it would ban me for another 3 days from TikTok. I'm so big because I haven't fixed it yet. I don't have the auto swap when I swap from one source to another yet, because I find it cumbersome to try to do that. So I just do it manually because it's a little bit easier for me to like adjust stuff when I need it to. That is slightly too small though. It's even smaller. What did I do? Okay. Yeah, good. No, I can't stay big. I'm in like a big story section, so I'm trying my best not to crowd it. Especially since I stopped chopping up my VODs. Like I didn't have the time to turn all my VODs into Let's Plays. I stopped doing that, and my VODs are getting more views now. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. I clearly I'm too old for all this. Yes, Wampus, get some sleep. Thank you for stopping out though. It does mean a lot. It helps my emotional satiety. I don't know. Like I'm a sim. I don't know. It fills up my social bar. It's so hard not to, like, anytime I'm trying to talk to people about something, I'll be like, oh man, I need my fun bar refilled. Like, I haven't played The Sims in like 3 years and I still use it as a measurement.
In that case.
Okay, so the last person we helped, we did a Yufa quest. I don't think we can do a Juna quest yet. This one might require us to travel. Let's go talk to her and see if she asks if we can talk on the runner. So I have kind of a favor I want to ask. There's something I'd like you to see, but it's for your eyes only, so I can't show you in town or anything. Next time we head out, I'll hope you'll spare some time for me. This is taking all the confidence I have. She's gonna show us her chibi form.
All right then.
You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it in my giblets. Okay, what we have a book for imagination. We have one more like examine site for wisdom. So I have to find somewhere for us to get some eloquence.
All right. Where to?
Oops, wrong one. Let's see. I think the only place to get elegance here is gonna be the giving a speech thing. We don't need tolerance anymore. We don't need courage. And we don't need one of the other ones that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Oh, it's just courage and tolerance. Imagination, we're most likely going to actually fix on the boat or on the ship when we're traveling around, because we have Basilio's letter book, his reading and writing book to snoop on.
I've no idea.
You there?
Hang on.
Collect our daily mag.
Let's... Yep.
I've no idea.
You're not serious.
Okay, let's see if we can podium and
Yes,
speech
please.
ourselves a bit. Why don't you stand here and give a speech? A good chance to let people know your thoughts and feelings. Oh, so because I slept poorly, partially for my own problem, partially for my kids, I went out of my way to make an espresso this morning, and it's kind of hitting the spot. And if you make a good impression, you might even earn some funding. I don't really care about the funding. I really just want the...
Oi!
You're the one who coerced Lady Juna's confession out of her and got her executed before the masses. Do you intend to suppress sanctism as king? You're not going to protect the pagan faith, are you?
No.
As individuals, we are free to follow the faith of our choice. What a life would that be? Not that I didn't have any ideas like that when I was young myself. That kid takes the throne, it's going to be a whole new world. I managed to win the hearts of the people with my speech. I feel like my eloquence has improved. Yeah, I thought about one of the other streamers I watch. When he's doing his getting ready section of his stream, he starts like an hour before his stream. And it's literally just a camera on his espresso machine as he makes himself like an English muffin, an egg, and some espresso. And you just hear the like percolating of the espresso machine and it filling up. And that's like the whole beginning of his stream. And I'm like, you know, I really could just throw a camera over there and do the same thing. I've been thinking about doing cooking streams anyway. And I have like the perfect counter that would make it to where unless my kids climb up on the counter, there would be no way to see their face. I've been thinking about doing that and putting a, well, he, like I said, he does an hour before his stream and he makes his espresso and he makes his eggs and there's like lo-fi music that's going on and he's just making his breakfast and occasionally talking to chat as he's like cooking and whatever. And then, he swaps over to just music and like the steam from the espresso machine and he goes and eats breakfast and just lets everybody chill with the music for a bit. It seems really cozy. Like, you know, I throw on some music so y'all can listen while I'm getting everything set up. And sometimes it takes me like 15, 20 minutes depending on how much scuff I have. So what do you mean, James? Dr. James Skylock? What do you mean by showcasing the story so far? Like the menu item? Because I think there is something that like gives you some recap, but I don't think there's one that gives you like, I don't know. Give me a second once we're out of this cutscene. We're as prepared as we can be. Tomorrow's the big day. We'll be up against Luis. This time he'll be ready and waiting for you. Captain, surely you have reservations about this. Forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, but is your mind truly clear of doubt? I mean to say, if you strike down a man who is not your true enemy, will you truly be able to call yourself a righteous prince?
It'll be fine.
My heart is clear, and I know what must be done. Then I'm glad to hear it. I challenge you on this only because I think it'll be foolish to brought to a standstill by it.
May I speak?
I do not believe Lewis's innocence in the slightest. On the contrary, in but a few months, he has slain the king and your comrade beside. Is it any wonder that people seek the end of his life? He's lived by a doctrine of power, and his every step has been in service of that purpose. His sealed fate and you, as a contender for the throne, should not waste time deliberating over whether such an ideology is fit to rule. Is that not
It'll be
so?
all right.
You are already in second place in the contest. Countless people have thrown their support behind you. Never forget that. Okay, can we talk about something? It bugs me so much. I know we're probably going to just blanket this with magic, right? How is she sitting cross-legged? Did she pull her, like, if her wings support her and hold her up by her back or whatever, right? For her to pull her legs up like that, that's just her doing like a modified, like, crunch, right? Like, or a squat. The thing where you hold from the, you hold from like a pull-up bar and you like pull your knees up to your chest over and over again. Isn't that like a really hard exercise? So she just pulling her legs up to pretend to sit in midair?
I can't lose.
Everything we've done has been for this day, so let's take it all in and stick it to Luis, Varela, Grius, and everyone we've lost. She's not even this upset about everybody that's died as she was at that guy that lied to her. The guy that lied to her, she like lost her shit over it. And she's like, Luis has killed everyone we've loved. Let's go take care of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't even let his message through. And it's gone? Why is that a thing? Huh. Yeah, she was so upset about it. Like, yeah, he didn't even lie to her. She lied to Loveless, and like, Gallica lost her freaking mind. She was like screaming at the dude, and like, she was friends with Grius or whatever, right? One of her friends died, and she's just like, that Luis, that darn rascal. That's the spirit. All the pain we've endured will be your power in the end. I don't want a king who believes might makes right. There's no reason you can't be a contender yourself.
Besides,
And now that you've declared yourself the prince, it's not like you can afford to fall on your face in front of everyone anyway.
that reminds me.
No, allegedly the Shadow Guard, the Shadow Knights, allegedly they went and took care of it. When they arrested him, they had another group by the gallows ready to rescue those people as soon as we got him out of the square. That was part of the plan, was getting him to not fight in the area so we could save the people. Now, we didn't know that because Hulkenberg lied to us the entire time and didn't let us in on the plan because story. Nearest apparently wants to make some kind of grand entrance into Grand Trad with the Skyrunner. Despite everything going on, that's his biggest priority. But maybe that's exactly what we need to make this work.
Okay then.
Well then, let's get a full night's rest so that we're ready for tomorrow. Now, the first guy we did let get hung, the first time we went to the gallows, that guy did get hung and died. The one that he was going to hang like 8 different people or whatever, we rescued those guys, but not the first guy. So we set off for the royal capital and decisive battle of our lives. I am a little disappointed. I had just begun to grow accustomed to the cold. I cannot say the same. Regardless, we've done all that we can here. Let us depart with our heads held high. Nearest sure seems thrilled about arriving by sky instead of teleportation magic. All it takes is a day to get there from here, and we'll have them city folk shaking in their boots. Let's meet at the runner once we've polished off breakfast.
At last, only a day remains.
Whatever Luis throws at us, this is where we end it.
Between him and the Criers, he's certainly made a production of this. You don't suppose it's a trap?
Of course it's a trap. What else would it be? I need to figure out how to include moderated messages in my
he just loves a battle that will make history. That's the bastard through and through.
Indeed. The man's in first place right now. Not much he stands to gain from subterfuge. But I'll admit, I have my own suspicions.
What? Losing your nerve, old fella? Me? I'm ready to lay the bastard out. I owe him at least one solid whack in the face from our Dell.
Yeah, Dell gets killed. I just want to punch the guy in the face once. My brother died. That's what he gets. A black eye, that's all.
You can start with one for Dell. Give him 100 for yourself. If he becomes king, the kingdom is finished. Maybe even destroyed from the sounds of it.
There we go, Gallica. Some proper emotions at the right time.
Rella said as much too. About the country being overrun with hordes of humans. That might be his real aim. Though I can't for the life of me think why Luis would want that. I thought he'd made his name as this grand human slayer.
At the very least, we know that Luis will not wield the king's magic to save this land.
We have our own future we're dreaming of.
Wait a minute. What happened to the royal staff? The one that was like made out of a rib cage or whatever? Rella said she had it, but then we never saw it.
For Maria and Fabienne. For Grius and Rella. We've got to win this. For everyone's sakes.
You would pursue peril?
Our course is set for the capital and our final confrontation with Luis. Is everyone prepared?
Great. Let's move out.
Good to hear. Let's go.
The stage is set for the decisive battle to take place in Grand Trad. And so the Gauntlet Runner takes to the sky.
I can't do anything
He
about
does
this. I
not
wasn't paying
return
attention
within
to the
hush of
ads.
teleportation magic as a mere wanderer, but with the fanfare required of one who would claim to be prince. He is a boy no more. He stands now on equal footing with Luis, and his triumphant descent over the capital will
Oh wait, I can do
finally
this, I
make
think?
that known.
Yeah. I forgot about that. There we go. Yeah, I don't. Oh, well, you know, he's probably behind ads as well. Let me do the rounds and check a bunch of stuff before I get too far into this. Since we're in ad jail anyway, might as well see if there's anybody I'm supposed to be viewing up on the old Kick. Not that I'm super thrilled about Kick. Something about it just that app sits funny with me. I don't know. Nobody important. That's good. Good. Welcome back from the ad jail. Those of you that had nice short ads. We found out recently that Surrey bot is not 100% truthful on who's back from ads and who isn't. Okay, there we go.
Whether or not his gambit is only a means to an end.
Oh wow, we are just like flying right down Main Street.
Wow! It's really him!
Welcome back!
Your Highness!
That was it. That's all Nearest wanted to do is a flyby. Okay, Nearest. Way to show off, I guess.
It's His Royal Highness the Prince. We've been waiting for you. Go and teach that damn Luis a lesson.
Finally! This is better than any of the fables. I'm putting all my money on Luis to win.
Sounds like they're more excited about the spectacle than about the prince being alive. Still, suppose it makes sense.
Oh my gosh. I just remembered that dude we placed a bet with and then disappeared with all our money.
But by the faces in the sky and upon the rock, we are squarely set in second place. Even with the gap between us and Luis, the prince has faithful supporters.
Though 'tis not truly His Highness's face wrought in stone, but our captain's. After all this time, I cannot help but feel conflicted.
Luis spares nothing for an old woman like me. Saint Rella spoke truth. We need the help of His Royal Highness the Prince.
Yep.
He's the boy with a saint's blessing. He's got to be genuine. If the Sanctus Church's power is waning, should I take His Highness's side over Luis?
I mean,
Even after her confession, they still keep her words close. I suppose no amount of past sins could make them forget her genuine kindness.
yeah, she was kind of loved, like, a lot.
Seems strange to say, but we owe her a great deal. Without her, the people would never have calmed, much less placed their trust in us.
Yeah, they forget that, like, 2 months earlier, he had a terrorist attack on this very town, blew up the main building of the town, and killed hundreds. And they're just like, that rascal.
We can't let them down.
But looking around the city, some of the fervor seems beyond reason.
Your Highness, you can't stop it, Luis. You've got to kill all the idiots who believe in him. They're not right in the head.
I get the spectacle now. So he's purposely trying to get as many negative emotions in one location as possible. Oh gosh, what was it called? Malification or whatever?
That right? You're the ones who aren't right in the head. It's because of stiff old cowards like you that this country's been spinning its wheels. Not ever getting better.
Then why hasn't Luis shown up yet, eh? Sounds like he's your coward, after he arranged all this too.
Yeah, there's a plan here.
True enough. If he doesn't even show up after all this fuss he's made, everyone would feel like fools.
Probably going for another big grandstanding entrance like at the royal funeral.
Says us, who just did a grandstanding entrance, but okay.
Don't care what he's planning. Either way, he's dead meat.
Save your fury for the fight ahead.
Right? Basilio's like our heavy damage dealer.
Over there! His Royal Highness the Prince has arrived.
Run, Lady Juna as well.
I say, nothing wrong with an adoring public, but this is getting more claustrophobic than the engine room. We don't want to get stuck. I'm popping back in the room.
Fair.
Let's head to the Hushed Honeybee Inn for now. I'm sure Maria will be happy to see us back.
Let's head to the slums like a real prince. Like that crowd would let us make it past to the Hushed Honeybee.
All the customers say they're on your side. I was surprised at how popular you are.
Thanks for helping, Maria. We couldn't have done it without you.
I tried my very, very best.
Aw.
I never thought Luis would be the one throwing down the gauntlet to you. If he'd survived, I'm sure he'd say the same. You'd better get some rest tonight. Come on, Maria. It's time you went to bed.
I wish we could stay up and talk more. Good luck tomorrow. I'll be cheering for you.
It's finally happening.
You've got to win this. For Grius' sake, too.
Victory is in our grasp. We once thought it impossible to save His Highness the Prince after all, and he now lives.
Yep.
But without the king's wards, we'll be fighting on even ground. He won't make this easy on us.
Nope.
The king's magic lived up to the legends. Capable of shaking the world itself. Every man, woman, and child has been at its whims for months.
2 months about, but yeah.
Not the kind of power any of us want in Luis's hands.
But will this fight truly settle everything? By the spell's own rules, the throne will go to whoever wins the most support. Even after this battle, the crown's fate isn't set. We saw how the people's hearts have been whipped to dangerous passions. When the dust settles...
Whatever they make of it, we've come this far. All we can do now is finish our fight and strike to kill. Any less, and Luis will cut us down.
Yeah, we've kicked everybody out of the inn too. The whole thing just feels odd. I know it's because it's a
Let us now
cutscene.
devote
But...
ourselves to victory, and then worry of what comes after. We must believe in all we've yet accomplished.
This should be our last battle against Luis. I'm just trying to stay hopeful, knowing how far we've come.
Now you've awoken your archetype, forged friendships, and taken so many burdens on your shoulders. You've really risen to this fight.
You're right there.
But it takes me back. If the prince could see you now, he'd be pretty proud of you, don't you think? I mean, you and he were best friends.
Yep.
Best friends. Wait, what?
What's the matter?
Oh, sorry. I felt like I'd misspoke for a second or something. Don't mind me. Anyway, we'll make sure this is the end for Luis. Gotta report our victory to His Highness personally, right?
Yep. I can sense Gallica's strong determination and resolve, and the unlock of our magic class.
It's like I'm seeing the prince smile again.
Oh wait, it didn't unlock it. Oh, we don't get it till 8. That's frustrating.
Right. Let's get some rest. We'll need it come tomorrow.
And we still adhere to our schedule. Feels like it's been ages since I was last here. The best way to prepare for tomorrow is by getting some rest. We'll bug Basilio and then we'll go.
I got ya.
I want to settle it one-on-one, eh? Of course he does. When all you care about is power, everything has to be a duel. Speaking as his old right hand, I can tell you the man's strong, terrifyingly strong. Can't afford to get careless. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Oh, wrong bed. Let me sleep. Bed is simple and clean, but there's an aroma that reminds me of clear, sunny day. Maybe it's time to call it a night.
Good night.
I actually love washing my bedding and like hanging it out to dry in the sun. Something about it just smells like sunshine when it's done drying. Like I can't explain it better than that.
At long last, my lord, our investigations have borne fruit. We know where the true prince lies. Those loyalists who disappeared with the prince led us right to him. We found traces of their coming and going.
Where was he hiding?
Far to the west of the royal capital, deep within a forest said to bewitch those who should wander in. An old village erased from today's maps. That said, against all odds, it seems that this place is...
The lost village of the Elder. Last trampled by Fortin's troops, sent to burn it to the ground.
Yep.
You knew then?
I see now. To hide in a place publicly declared as destroyed. Quite a gambit. The prince was born there, you know. An illegitimate son, after the past king's heart was drawn to a woman of the village in his youthful years of debauchery.
Debauchery.
What? Then the prince really does bear elder blood.
Fortin did not raise the village for any defiance of his scriptures. He thought only to eliminate an inconvenient heir, a threat to his power, before his birth was known. The prince's survival, his complete disappearance, this was the missing piece. Zorba, go and snuff them out for good.
Sir, consider them annihilated. I've been hoping for an opportunity to test this newfound power.
He's definitely corrupted himself with one of those Maglo crystals.
Now, the battle at the royal capital looms. I must begin my own preparations.
You're a day late, man. What?
If you call yourself the prince, then I will give you a prince's end. And I have just the spell to do it.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
I have a hard time with the cover of that book and the book in general because it just feels so Kingdom Hearts.
Good morning. Did you sleep well? Ready to face the day?
Hold on. Let me, gotta poke at Caster Labs again. Oh, no, it looks like it's working. Weird. Okay.
Same as any other day, I suppose.
No nerves, even. Huh. Nothing ever seems to faze you. It's quite admirable.
But you have to come back, no matter what, okay?
Yep. We promise to not die like your
my mind
dad.
strays back to the royal funeral. Yet we are more than we ever were then. Now we have the power to see this through.
Literally just a loop of the exact same thing we originally tried to do like 80 some hours
Let's
ago.
get out there, thrash him, and come back here to celebrate.
Never thought we'd find ourselves back at the Grand Cathedral for the final showdown. Let's pull ourselves together, ready our supplies, and give him hell.
Have a good lurk. I'll see you soon. I definitely can use... does coffee count as a hydrate? Because that's definitely what I'm drinking. Oh, it's so good.
Let's head there.
Luce is awaiting us at the Grand Cathedral. I should go there. Make sure that you have everything you'll need.
Lime.
Are they really going to let me, like, shop and stuff on my way there? What?
Oh, this blooming heat.
This is all right.
Prince coming out of the honeybee. What led to this occasion? We don't often see your kind risking that. You've got my vote. Haven't heard any dirty rumors about you neither.
Well, stranger things have happened.
Can an elder really beat Luis? Like, really? Mom's always crying that Luis is scary. That means they're bad people in any tribe, right? Even the Clamars. So if you beat Luis, it's okay if you become king. Even if you are an elder. Elder don't seem so bad. We purposely talked to that kid because that's the one that Maria was having difficulties with.
If I may.
And what is it you want?
Yeah. Making sure there isn't like anything we absolutely need. This place is kind of limited. It didn't update with a lot of the other like wares and whatnot.
Well then, if you
I really wanted to make a bunch more of that like MP regenerating food.
Who'll take the crown now? Oh, this heat is stifling.
Okay, let's... Ooh, look how much Magla's around that right now.
Ready?
Time for the showdown.
Well, bit of a tricky situation. Can't exactly say I'm the tournament's official crier anymore, things being what they are.
I mean,
Sanctifex Forden and St. Rella are gone. Bluntly speaking, there is no tournament anymore. But like hell, if that's gonna stop me, as a lone citizen watching over the future of our country, you can look to me for the latest news on this upcoming fight.
Woo! Live free, crier! Fight the power!
Very good. Let's begin, shall we? The Day of Judgment is here. The final fight between Luis, military paragon and one-man army, and the boy who claims to be the fallen prince. The entire continent's eyes are on this battle, folks, and only one of them's walking away. Let's see a show of true strength, worthy of our new king.
Your Highness, you can win. Give Luis the boot.
Baby.
Count Luis! Kill that imposter!
It looks to me like Luis hasn't even bothered to show at the royal capital.
And it kills me
There's no
because
way
like
he'd run away from this. Anytime now. Anytime.
it kills me because they are like, oh, he's this brilliant tactician. He clearly wouldn't have any plans or schemes.
Whoa, over there! It's Luis's gauntlet runner! And so the leading candidate finally makes his appearance.
Boom, boom, boom.
Luis.
I know it's just supposed to be for his character
The two
design.
titans of this race have finally come face to face. Let's introduce our candidates once again for this final bout. Our first candidate, Count Luis.
They purposely made his horns like a crown.
Adopted son of a minor nobleman, he rose to fame on his incredible military merits, quelling domestic conflicts and almost becoming our nation's youngest general. Suspected of attacking His Highness, he was denounced and cast down, but his name has since been cleared, and now here he stands, closest to the throne. Then we have the Elden candidate, he who claims to be none other than His Highness, the Prince. Though his identity is uncertain, his strength is undeniable. Through his campaign, we've seen his team flourish, counting even the songstress Juna among them. The time has come to demonstrate his power. Will it be enough for this youth to take the throne?
I do love Gallica's little battle gear.
I have to
like that would
commend
help.
A lesser man would have run. This all began with the king's failures. He was an unworthy ruler, and his incompetence bred the chaos that followed.
Fair.
You, who claim to be the prince, what do you believe the people seek in their king?
The intellect to resolve everything.
Many would dismiss this idea, but resorting to force is never the
Can
answer.
intellect alone protect the people? In the end, words are nothing against power. Now let me ask you, my gathered people, what is it that makes a king?
Power! My Lord Luis, kill him now! Only the strong can rule!
Beautiful florist said that.
Your Highness, show us your power!
Young candidate, have you or your party any final speeches before the duel?
We have only one thing to say. Wake up! Luis's fair world is barbaric. A land where the strong prey on the weak. He promises protection, but he is the very man who would see you slain. Hear this. Luis ordered my home destroyed by a human. Are we a land of animals? Or are we a nation united in the protection of the weak, in raising up our neighbors?
He's the type of man who will kill anyone who gets in his way. If you crown him king, I know the country will burn. Rella said as much.
People, do not let your hearts falter. I desire but one thing, a world without inequality, and I shall gladly offer my shield to all of those who follow this ideal. Those who do not, however, will be slain without mercy or regret. It could not be simpler.
If your equality means you will sacrifice the people who need help most, then I deny your world!
Listen to that music in the background. What?
So, you think you have the strength to protect the weak? Then prove to me these are more than empty words.
Whew, he's gonna actually
Come
fight
then,
us this time too.
and act your part in this showdown. I have a new world to build, and you will die in its name.
The time has come. We're finishing this.
won't hold back.
Here and now.
Throw money at our problems.
That was perfect.
From a distance, then!
Looks like we can't brute force through this one.
I pray you're ready. Heed me!
I probably should have swapped
should
her
I
out
beat
because
down
he's gonna
first?
be like really strong against a lot of this.
Cilio left him wide open.
I
Let's
step
hit that
magic
new
knight!
weakness.
Oh, power of heroes!
I have a feeling he's gonna do mostly AoE attacks, but still.
Can you endure it? I strike to kill!
Only is that all? Only a flesh wound.
Merchant!
You
Take
defy
my
the rule of
first power.
strength, then die
Come
by
forth
it.
now!
Okay, let's split the bets.
Oh,
Well done!
Beat him
We
down,
settle this
Cilio.
here.
strike me if you dare!
Good so far.
Let's go.
There's a abacus we can get later that triples the
you.
cost of our gold attacks,
Can you
but
endure
also
it?
triples the damage.
I strike to kill!
Too slow. Dodge, Hulkenberg.
Nice.
Poetry in motion.
I can do this!
Let's keep hitting him with. Oh, actually. See if we can poison him. Probably not, to be straight honest with you, but.
You defy the rule of strength.
About bloody time.
Show them all your weak spot. Beat him
By the
down,
swan of
Basilio.
Magic knight!
Let's take. I won't hold back.
Nice
Well
hit.
done!
That was perfect.
Haha, good. Very good. Yours is a worthy power, one untainted by petty tactics or cheap tricks.
Sure.
However, magnificent. You truly have become more powerful. But I would expect no less of a remnant of humankind. You're a survivor of a lost tribe, aren't you?
Humankind?
Because he's elder, you would call him a monster.
You should know the truth by now. After all that time I allowed you to spend on that pagan island. History, as told by the Sanctus Church, is a fiction. No doubt you saw all the evidence of a truer history. One that told of ancient times where the land was ruled by a far different people.
You mean the legends according to the murals and ruins from the temple?
Yep.
Yufa, don't humor him.
But if that war between gods truly did come to pass...
Gods? How droll. They may have governed all things with works far beyond ours, but they were no gods. They were an ancient tribe unlike any other race now lost. Wielders of true magic. The modern age saw them called Elder, shunned from our cities. But in their time, they were known as humankind.
I thought humans were those mad monsters. What are you trying to say now?
Luis, you dog! Your lies will soil His Highness's name no longer!
You believe it false? What would I stand to gain from lies?
Everything?
Elda are actually humankind? Why wouldn't I know that?
Hear me! His appearance as a boy is mere trickery. In truth, he is humankind. He is kin to the feral monstrosities that roam this land, leaving carnage in their wake.
He doesn't know when to give up. No one would believe this madness.
Nah, people hate
No
Elda.
need to distress yourself. I'll show you the proof. You, boy, who call yourself the prince. You will be the cornerstone upon which my utopia is built.
Utopia?
Hey, what ails him?
Witness the truth! Good people, you would know the identity of your would-be prince. Here he is!
He's been making humans this whole time.
It's a monster! It's a human! It's going to be...
The truth of the humans is laid bare. They're no beasts, but another form of the Elder Tribe. Cast aside their guise with magic, and they reveal their true colors. He is no royalty, no boy, but a ruthless fiend intent on your throne!
It's not true! It has to be one of the Count's illusions!
What illusion? That's no prince! It's a monster!
It'll kill us all! Run!
What has become?
There we go. Let's pause that for a second. Keep forgetting I can do that on the like cutscenes. I have to like tab out to force it to pause, but we at least have it paused now. This reveal is supposed to be like really good. That's why I was like not wanting to do it at the tail end of the stream yesterday. It would have felt rushed. This is supposed to be our last like big turning point for the rest of the game. Unfortunately, I think we have like 15 hours left. So, well, 15 hours left from yesterday when we ended the stream. I went ahead and like looked forwards a little bit, hoping I would be able to like finish it today, but there's so much time between here and the actual end of the game that from like side quests and stuff, we're just not going to get it done. We'll have to at some point next week do either a bonus stream or something. I thought about adding like this to the nightly streams maybe. I don't know yet. We'll figure something out though. I'm kind of excited about Marvel Right. I'm not going to play well. I'm not, much as I love shooters, I'm not good at them. Like, my aim's just bad. I have, like, a permanent mild tremor in my hands now. So, like, even though I wasn't great to start with, the concepts of, like, leading the target and stuff for certain games, and then bouncing back to hit scan, and then back to leading the target for, like, some games, like, the one set of guns has bullet projection, and then another set in the same game has hit scan, blows my mind. Like, I can't bounce back and forth between the two at all. And I know there's a little bit of that in this, because there was an Overwatch as well, like Hanzo not having his regular arrows had bullet travel, but his like fast shots are hit scan or something. Like, he has both, which is annoying. I don't know. We'll come to that bridge when it's time though.
It must be Luis's wicked magic. Yet, the aura of Magla, it's exactly like a human's.
He's not!
He's a human.
Hey! Snap out of it! You have to stop this! Ah!
To help anyone in need, was it too idealistic? Was it too naive to win? Afraid. Lewis called it trickery, and even my very body.
Be not afraid, child. 'Tis not thy true self. 'Tis not thy true fate.
Who are you? What do you know about it?
In this moment, thy mind is disturbed, twisted by the power of that man. The time has come. Thou must face the truth deepest within thee.
What's that about?
The deepest truth.
Remember again thy true self, the purpose of thy birth.
My purpose? Yes, that's right. I took on a mission to save the prince.
An ideal world. Even if reality crushes everything I believe in, even if my ideals languish, I know I can trust you to see them through. It's always been that way. Whenever my life's been the hardest, you are always there to help me through it. After all, you're mine.
Wake up! Wake up! Hey!
Are you well?
Yeah, I think so.
Phew. You seem coherent at least. We saw you take on a terrible, monstrous form. We knew not what to do.
You had vast reserves of magic poured into you. It was eating away at your body and mind, but I've managed to suppress it.
Good, good.
He may be back with us, but without rest, he will surely succumb to the spell. I don't know if he can withstand the same magic a second time.
I will not let you die. It would appear the throne is now mine in every sense. None remain to oppose me. Your vengeance is at hand. Will you not finally slay the monster and avenge your people? Shut up! Unfortunately, the prince is finished either way. Both this imposter and the true prince at death's door, deep in the woods. The true prince? You bastard! What have you done?
Bloody hell! Is that why he called us here? It was all just a bloody distraction!
Oh my gosh, the world's best tactician had a plan?
Your part in this has ended. Go where you wish, but I advise you run fast if you would outpace your hunters.
Seize the monster! I don't care if you have to kill it!
Attention now. This looks dire. How could you deceive us?
I knew all along that filthy lowborn was hiding something. Monster!
We retreat to our gauntlet runner. We must find him safe haven to rest.
It won't be long until the entire kingdom hears of this mess. We've no safe haven left.
Gallica, we've only got one option now. I'm worried about the prince too.
I know. We'll head to my home, and the prince's refuge. The Elden Sanctum.
513th. I didn't even realize there were still that many people in the running. Fawn supporters have begun drastically declining in number.
Count Luis has saved the country. He has driven off the human who sought to usurp it.
Count Luis is our true savior.
Sounds like we've got our next king, then.
Might as well fall in with him. He'll keep us safe from any humans at the very least.
They'll be all right, won't they?
Yeah, we will.
That boy is no monster. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Luis! What the hell did he do? Stay safe out there, boy.
The flow of that evil Magla was surely born from Luis's magic. What a terrifying force.
How did he get here?
I'll remember that sight for the rest of my days. But he hasn't got you beat yet, my friend. You can't tell me the fight's over.
Wow. And the supporters are continuing to decline.
Why?
How did this happen? Anyhow, there's no time to waste. Let's set course for the ancient Elden Sanctum. Don't lose hope. I'm just like, wasn't this place supposed to be our home? Couldn't we just teleport? Couldn't we have teleported from the start?
Then it was a departure. They board the gauntlet runner and rush from the capital, as though hiding from the shrieking animosity of the masses. What more can they endure? There is no light to be seen.
A hiding place for the Elder Tribe. Wonders never cease.
We can marvel at it later. The mirror hasn't shown me anything for a while. I can't even see the room now, let alone the prince.
No. Just after we'd finally resolved the curse, too.
Yeah, I never understood why we didn't just go
Louise's
there.
final
It's
words
dumb.
trouble me. We must hurry on.
At first glance, it is a simple forest, deep as any other. But the observant may sense that every tree in its formation is ancient and grand, bathed in mystical serenity. The name of this place is familiar only to the few who grasp the truth. The ancient Elden Sanctum.
Can you walk, lad?
Yeah.
That's a relief. Seems like the rest on the ride here did him some good.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to read a book
Poor
while we were
chap's
at it.
even got me worried. I'll shuffle along too.
Hey, I reacted poorly when you were turned into that thing. I apologize. My mind just went blank. For a moment, I doubted you. Forgive me. I should have recognized Luis's drivel for what it was.
I don't blame you. It certainly caught me by surprise.
And here's hoping there can be no surprises worse than that.
But what a sea of trees. If we get lost in here, we're never getting out.
I can sense a special barrier in place. Meant to deliberately lead people astray, too. A perfect place to hide.
Gallica, how fares His Highness? Does the Farsight Mirror yield any news?
No. I checked a bunch of times in the Gauntlet Runner. I'm not seeing anything. I'm worried.
You know that's the rules. Welcome back, Lychee. Even if you're just here to make me stretch and disappear again. Speaking of stretching and everything, I am cleared to start doing mild exercises now, and I can hit the gym again, and I have a scheduled appointment and everything on the 30th, so I can actually start getting back to getting my back working again. Kind of excited. By February, my back might be better, which is great news because they moved Kingdom Come Deliverance up to the 4th of February, so even sooner than what we originally thought, and we definitely need that.
Hurry and lead the way.
Right. Everyone stay close so we don't get separated. The village is this way.
Did you catch any of the cutscene while you were getting ready or getting up? I'm worried about the prince. His life is in our hands. We found out, if you didn't catch it, let me finish this. We believes in a world where people can make their own future just like you. He's the only one who can see the dream become a reality. We found out that, well, we kind of already knew. We knew this from like the very beginning of the game, like when we first got to town, but somehow forgot. We found out that Elda are humans before the fall of civilization. This is actually a post-apocalyptic story of Earth. At one point, people figure out that magic is a thing. They start heavily using it instead of technology. And humans, do what humans do. They go to war with each other using magic, and it really screws the world up, causing like the different tribes to appear because there are hybrid versions of humans. And Elda are the human monsters we've been fighting so far, allegedly.
This looks like... Who are you?
Are you all right?
My head's swimming. What is this place?
The royal flower? A surprise to see them blooming here.
Something about this place. Yes. The flow of Magla is strong here. It is much like the altar of the dragon god. The Magla in the air seems to be concentrated here. What is this place?
Gallica, something the matter? Your mind seems elsewhere.
Oh, sorry. I've got this weird feeling that something really important happened here. Anyway, let's keep moving.
Something majorly important. But it doesn't fit our schedule, so let's ignore it for now.
So here you are at last.
I just immediately want to like run through the flowers.
Why?
Where I left home, I never knew these flowers represented royalty, but what are they doing within the ancient sanctum? I keep trying to mount my sword and like sword surf everywhere, and that's not a thing. We can only dangerously surf on a sword in town.
How odd. This place is clearly in ruins, but it doesn't look like natural decay.
It was burned to the ground. One day, a bunch of kingdom soldiers showed up out of the blue. Without so much as a reason. They made an inferno of the place.
But why? Why would His Majesty order such an atrocity?
What do you mean, His Majesty? We've been over this like 10 times already, Yufa. Pay attention. Again, it's the dum-dums and Nurus all over again.
Thinking back now,
it may have been Forden who led the charge. I can't be certain. But if it was up to him, he would have done it just to purge the filthy Elda tribe.
Luis claimed that the Elden people were just another form of the humans. If he spoke true...
They're not. There's no way. Anyway, more than half of the villagers died in the fire. And those who survived were forced to hide in caves. That way everyone would think they were wiped out.
'Tis a shrewd ploy indeed, to hide in a place the enemy themselves saw destroyed. Yet, why did Alcest... No matter. His Highness is in this cave, correct?
yes, over there.
What? That...
He draws no breath. Likely a stab in the back. I doubt he even had time to shout.
A stab in the back with clearly a slash mark from shoulder to butt cheek.
I recognize him. He was the associate of the first operative I came in contact with. He was a lot more skilled than those Sanctist warrior monks.
Gallica, the cave is just ahead, yes?
Yes. It's past the woods, over there.
Then we move.
I need to get to the cave. This Magla that I'm sensing, I'm worried about the prince. We need to hurry over to the hideout on the lower levels. Look at all the fairies, though. A fairy. I think they feel a little alarmed. If we all swarm in on them as a big group like this, for now, leave them be and move on. Now, we know dragons and fairies are born from Magla itself. It's a fairly old Ujif man. It seems he's working to lay a body to rest.
Russell? You're safe!
Huh? My word. Is that you, Gallica?
I kind of love his little face down here. That's fantastic.
You were His Highness's tutor.
I know but one red-tressed knight. Are you the royal guard? The Lady Hulkenberg? By the heavens. Then...
She's been helping us. Everyone here is a trusted ally. They've all fought to save the prince.
Yep.
Alas. Oh, what a tragedy. If this reunion had only been a moment sooner.
Russell, where is His Highness? What happened? Is His Highness safe?
A few days ago, those detestable cursed thorns finally faded. I cannot tell you how long I had waited to see them gone. It was truly a joy beyond words. It happened before we could fathom it. A lone stranger, a loathsome figure, came striding in. His Highness had only just regained consciousness since the curse's lifting. Yet, to protect us, he threw himself upon the assassin's blade. We were horror-struck. His Highness lay pierced through the heart, and we saw him breathe his last.
No, that can't be true.
The stranger was a master of magic. None could match him. Of the Resistance's numbers, only I remain.
He says that, but just off screen over here was another dude walking around.
Who was responsible for this?
I don't know who the murderer was, but he cried his patron's name aloud as he did the deed. For Count Luis, from the moment he appeared, I believe his sole purpose was to kill His Highness. As soon as the lifelight left the prince's eyes, the stranger left, with only a smile.
An innocent boy, twice tormented in the clutches of assassins. All because of the family he was born into.
Luis, there really is no evil you won't stoop to.
Please, Russell. Where is the prince?
We've laid him in the prayer room for now, at the end of the cave. He rests just this way.
You're coming, aren't you, love?
I must go to him.
You're right. Maybe we'll find some way to help.
Ah, I'd heard a rumor that there was a boy candidate who claimed to be His Highness. So, that was you?
Yep, yep.
'Tis just as St. Rilla said. You're no scoundrel. Indeed, you risked life and livelihood to see His Highness restored. Strange. Something in you reminds me of His Highness.
Something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Well, I will go before you to the prayer room. Once you are ready, you are free to join me.
I hate that trope of like, nah, this important bit of information, not important. Y'all go do what you're doing. Before I go to the prince, I think I'll help Russell lay the body to rest. Okay, I know I'm supposed to be strong, but shouldn't Basilio be
You're
digging?
going to stay here.
No. I must bear witness myself. As his knight, I must.
And Juna just behind us singing. Okay, maybe it was a corpse leaning over here. I could have swore I saw another person. Like humanoid, human-sized, man-sized shape.
I'm a little worried.
I need to get to the prince as quick as I can. The prince is in the prayer room on the lower level. I don't want to believe it. We need to see him for ourselves.
It's nearly time.
This voice. It told me, save the game.
Long have I waited.
Ah, the only one left alive, except for all of the other people that are alive.
Beg pardon?
Hold on, did you really come here from the outside the sanctum? But what's going on? Well, that can't be. Are you truly Elda?
Hey, you.
Are you associated with the group that's been sheltering the prince? All because of them that another calamity has befallen us. How can I get close or look at you? Are you Elda? I heard that the prince was the only Elda within the resistance.
You must hurry. The time has come.
These resistance members can keep on sacrificing themselves for all I care. It's not my problem. I guess that came out sounding a little cold. I suppose I can help bury the bodies anyway. There's too many for that old Ujif to handle all on his own.
What?
Right past this door is the living quarters. Lady Guida made it strictly clear that it's not to be opened under any circumstances. You heard me. Hurry along now.
All was for this day. There is still time.
Gallica, is that really you? I was wondering where you'd gone off to. Thank goodness you're safe. How are the others? The others? They're fine. It's just a bunch of people who died. More importantly, Gallica, we have to go gather petals from that flower patch in the forest. What? Oh,
sure.
Maybe later, okay? I'm still on a mission. So now really isn't the time to. You've changed, Gallica. You're even starting to talk like one of them. It's so weird.
What?
Huh? Are you trying to be a person? You're strange now.
Hello there.
The prayer room is located further within. At the moment, it's being used to mourn those who are no longer with us. I pray you don't cause a disturbance. Okay, so, for the confusion, everybody's treating Gallica like she's only been missing for a day, and she's not acting like herself, she's acting like a person. Nobody knows who I am, and all the Elda just want the resistance to die off because they believe the resistance is the problem. And nobody knows who I am, and they're all very confused that I'm an Elda. Because they know all the Elda, because all the Elda live here. The prince is just ahead. Are you ready? Why is there a merchant down here that I can buy stuff from? This is like a major, like, important area, so we're going to talk to everybody before we go to the center. The truth is, during the attack, I crossed paths with the assailant. He walked right past me on the stairs outside. At the time, the only thing that struck me was his unusual garb. Otherwise, he walked by so casually, it seemed like nothing was amiss. It was only afterwards that I found out that he had just massacred all those people. I tremble even now just thinking about it. This is a village of only Elda, and someone that wasn't Elda walked right past you, and you didn't care.
Hello.
Beyond the door of this place is the organization has been using as a hideout. Or should I say, it was beyond the door. Other than that elderly Russell, the rest of them are... Perhaps we brought this on ourselves, but still, it's all so dreadful. Gallica, is that you? Wow, long time no see. Oh wow, Gallica. The funniest stuff happened while you were gone. Your friend totally fell into a pond. It was hilarious. And then get this. Are you busy or something? You look tired. We should talk more later though, okay? Oh right, your friend is further in. I think you're late. You're all from the outside, aren't you? Hey, mind telling me what's going on right now? Nobody will tell me anything. They all just say, don't leave the house. I know the fires were scary, but it's all too much to be holed up like this. I, for one, have no intentions of spending my life running between caves and forests. This fire happened like a while back. It wasn't like yesterday.
Oh, it's you!
Beyond here lies the altar of secret history. sanctuary which houses the true story of our people and the world. Kindly refrain from making any loud noises lest you startle the fairies. I'm going to talk to everybody that's not in the circle, and then we're going to talk to that dude right above my head first. Or the merchant guy, I'm not entirely sure yet.
Come off it.
I've heard that the Elda are considered a sullied tribe to the outside world. Perhaps that reflects in the current state of affairs. That child is royalty, and yet his life has been defined by tragedy beyond anything that I've experienced. To think that there are those who would see such a child as no more than prey to be slain. To look upon a mere boy such as he and revile him, their souls are truly cursed. The people who brought the prince to this village called themselves the Resistance. They feared a name would spread word of their existence. Their numbers have gradually dwindled, and after today's tragedy, Russell is all who remains. Hardly resistance now. And we're going to chill because we're in highly contested story stuff. While we're waiting though, let's look at the thing what's his name was talking about, like the story so far. I remember him talking about, or the guy that popped in and like got caught by the moderator thing, and it won't let me like post his actual message because it wasn't blocked, it's just like filtered out. Anyway, the thing he was talking about, there's like a story so far thing that we could interact with, but for the life of me, I don't. Oh, here it is, the story so far. It's not with the it's not with the messages and stuff. It's on the page with settings and tutorials and whatnot. It's over here. And this will get you caught up on everything that happened. Let me see if I can, while we wait here. Oh, suspicious user for ban evasion. Well, I mean, if he ever pops back, we know that guy ever pops back, we know what it's for. But allegedly, he's been dinged for ban evasion from my chat. So allegedly, the person that was talking is somebody I've already banned, which is odd. Because there's only, like, most of the people I've banned were bots. There's only like a handful of people I banned for reasons that wasn't bot material. Some of them were for some kind of on the heinous side of stuff. So I don't, if they come back, I'll answer their question. But outside of that, I'm not going to bother. Russell, the prince is our highness. For you to forfeit your life in order to save ours, it can only mean that we have truly failed you. There can be no atonement, no penance to match the magnitude of our failure.
Now what am I to do?
Quite the state our village is in right now, so if there's anything you need, now's the time.
Now then.
And it's all like in-game, very heavily helpful items. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh man, a bunch of like really good like weapons and stuff too. Why is it all named Comet? Why is it all named Comet? Except for these, obviously purple, blue, red. actually stronger than our the Dracodios weapon. That's 5 more damage than a spear that has the soul of a god in it. Okay. Okay, whatever. Yeah, there's so far there's not anything I really care about in here. The extra endurance and defense, though. We're gonna buy one of these and throw it on Hulkenberg just so she can like face tank. Ability, strength, magic. Okay, none of the rest of that's really important right now. Yeah, it does 5 more damage than Dracodios. Like Dracodios does almighty damage, so it's unblockable. Like it can't be reflected, but still, it being weaker than just a piece of a comet turned into a spear is kind of silly. To be completely honest, there are those within the Sanctum who think ill of both His Highness and the Resistance, but life is priceless. For him to have died in such a way at such a tender age, and let us pray so that such tragedy is never repeated. Oh, hold on. I have an important message. My tracking is going to completely break. Actually, let's do this. Okay. I'm back. Sorry about just dipping like that. I have one more dip. I have one more like BRB we might have to do a little bit later. That was a call from my kid's school, and it's literally something I can handle like later today. I don't have to mess with that right now. Somebody calling and it was not at the most convenient time. I also have a service person coming over to fix something at the house at some point today, so I'll have to like do a short bail to let them in and let them do what they need to do. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let us pray so that such tragedy never happens again. Offer the prayers not to any idol, but to the God that dwells within.
This way.
No.
He got stabbed through the heart, and there was absolutely no blood on his pure white outfit.
Your Highness.
Oof. Oh man, do we have to listen to each one of them cry in turn? I cannot do that.
die.
I didn't realize anyone still remained to weep over this child. Huh? Gallica! You've returned!
Milady Gruade. It's been a long time.
May I ask who this is?
She is the chiefess of this village. The Hermitess Gruade.
Hermitess.
She was kind enough to shelter the entire organization when His Highness fled to these woods.
I can't believe he's gone. I'm just some parapus orphan from the slums. I was never supposed to outlive any prince. Was he killed here?
No. It all happened in the bunk room in the back. We moved him here to the altar once all was quiet. I don't know if you'd believe me, but I received a revelation. Should the
my
prince
gosh,
die,
that
his
person
body should be
just now
kept
showed
safe
up.
and still.
No! No!
I have
That
been-
is not. I tried to pause it. God, I'll be right back. Okay, so fingers crossed. That's our last disturbance. I am so mad that that cutscene did not pause and it skipped us through it. So we've missed a tiny bit of story, but this is supposed to like recap what's going on. So
Waiting for thee to overcome thy trials. Long have I waited for thy return. Know this, his life is not yet ended.
This voice.
It all started on that ill-fated day when the usurper thought to extinguish his light. Before he fades away, recount all thou hast seen and felt, all thou hast gained in thy journey's course.
I look now to the past and I see the roads I traveled on this journey.
Gallica and thee sought to take the head of Luis, but thy efforts came to naught. So, ye moved instead to join a tournament to decide the land's king.
In the prince's name.
Though thy plan was reckless, thou didst win the trust of the people by the support of peers and subjects alike. Thus, thou didst declare thyself the prince.
It was all for victory.
After overcoming many obstacles, thou didst finally lift the prince's curse. Yet by the cruel machinations of another, the young prince
is no longer with us.
Thy sole mission was to save the prince. Bereft of him, thou hast no further reason to live.
That's not true.
If the prince is dead, wert thy efforts all for naught?
His will lives on.
So thy resolve is yet unbroken. So be it. Thou hast earned the truth.
Okay, here we go.
He was consumed by the curse, and was taken by a deep, abiding slumber. Yet his soul remained alive. So from his earthly form, I extracted his soul, that he might travel the land in Odyssey. And thus his stilled sands began to flow once more. Thy journey hast taken thee far, and taught thee much. So now I ask thee, who art thou?
And this is the reason why all of our abilities, you know, when they declare themselves and pull their heart out and announce, it all looks like it's roots hanging from above. It's the center of this chamber.
I'm just a traveler.
Could a mere traveler have borne witness to so many happenings beyond mortal understanding? To name but a few. Thy parents? Memories of thy youth? Hast thou any recollection of where and how thy youngest years were spent? Yes. Thy memories begin the moment thou befriend the prince. Dost thou suspect the reason?
I don't have a past.
As I said, thou hast nothing. Thou art a being of mine own creation. 'Twas Gallica alone who the Resistance laid their hopes upon all those days past. Thy life had yet to begin. All thou hadst, all that had been bestowed, was a memory. Thy mission to save the prince. Thy memories of youth in the prince's company, and the void enshrouding all else in thy past. All signs of thy conjured existence.
I have nothing?
Yes, mother.
Nay, the words of the prince in thy memory are unmistakably of his true heart. The memories gained on thy journey, the friendships made, the trust forged, these true things art thine own.
The light slowly getting brighter.
All thy trials, all thy experiences wert to prepare thee for this day, to share the strength thou hast gained with thy other self.
Do you mean...
The trust and friendships I've gained has been there to support me. But if they'd known I came from nothing, that I am nothing, would people have stood by me, believed in me? And the same goes for the desire to help anyone in need. How is it that I've touted such a laughably idealistic belief this long?
Accept the truth, and thou wilt face an ordeal beyond any you have yet faced. If thy desire is instead for freedom, thou mayest still abandon thy mission and end it here.
No. Okay, I didn't know I could just...
Is that right?
I see. My true... I wonder... Can I just choose the option of just fading into non-existence? Sorry. Okay, serious. Is my true identity is...
So I bid thee answer my final question. Who art thou in truth?
Oh, shit. Okay, so I am one of ridiculously morbid curiosity. Ridiculously morbid curiosity. I don't have a save down here. I have a save coming down the stairs. I can't save from this point on. If I hit start, it's going to break a bunch of stuff. But I technically have a save on the stairs. What do you think? Morbid curiosity? Because, for me, morbid curiosity almost always wins out. Screw it.
I don't want to know who I am.
So, thou art unable to face thy true self. If that is thy true wish, then so be it.
Nope, too late. We're breaking it. We're throwing out all 100 some hours I've been playing this game.
The prince and the hope that rested upon him was no more. The banner they strove to raise fell to ruin. Unity forged among allies and promised to the people was a fleeting hope. The opportunity passed. Only Luis, the sworn enemy, remained to take the throne.
Can't help it. I can't help it. Here's the thing. If I don't let myself do morbid curiosity stuff in games and let myself kind of experience stuff I wouldn't let myself experience, because like obviously real me would have chose to acknowledge myself, right? And like be the prince and like do all that. However, knowing that there was an option for me to not choose what I would naturally choose fascinates me so much more. Give me an achievement for a weird ending. I would love that so much.
The day came. The authority of the king's magic, along with the royal scepter, were passed into Luis's wanting hands. That was the day fantasy died. No one knows what became of the kingdom thereafter.
I'm kind of excited that there's a weird alternate ending.
All that is certain is that none of their names, not even those of the heroes, passed into history. All else vanished untold.
That's kind of cool. Okay. I'm gonna see if we can skip the credits. It might not let us, actually. There we go. Fantasy is dead. Could you imagine? Okay, I'm gonna jinx this. Could you imagine if I go into my load right now and I don't have any saves? Okay, we have an autosave. Let's try this autosave. I think it's actually, let's look and see if that's the newest one. Okay, it is. Let's try this autosave and see if that puts us right back at talking to the prince. Okay, it puts us right here. During the ads, we have ads in 27 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and just run around and click through all this dialogue, just in case it's needed. I'm really paranoid with stuff like this. Of like, if I have to do a reset, I want to make sure I do everything in the exact same order I did before, so that it doesn't break anything. So we're doing that. That was kind of cool if there was an alternate ending, though. I really was hoping for an achievement, actually. I know that's odd, but I was really hoping for a you screwed up the world achievement.
Come.
Okay, he's there. Let's ignore him for now, and we'll go around and talk to these guys.
Now what am I?
Now then.
Okay. Ooh, that means we get to do the thing.
What now?
Yeah, let's do it. Excited. Okay. Welcome back. Let's just in case, I'm gonna do another hard save here. Just in case I screw it up again and accidentally choose the wrong answer.
Hey.
Oh, Highness, for you forfeit your life in order to save us, it can only mean that you truly failed you. There's no atonement, no penance to match the magnitude of our failure.
This way.
Okay, now let's see the proper way to handle this cutscene.
No.
Oh no. Okay. I hope you don't mind. I'm skipping through all of them crying. I honestly cannot do that again.
You're... I didn't realize anyone still remained to weep over this child.
Not doing that a second time. Hulkenberg's was slightly too realistic for me to be able to do that again.
Huh? Gallica, you've returned.
Milady Gruade.
I kind of think it's funny that no matter what, anytime there's a scene where she's really close to the screen like this, they always show us the bottom of her feet. She never does the like sitting cross-legged or like with her feet facing forwards when she's really close to the screen like this. It's always just toes in your face.
May I ask who this is?
She is the chiefess of this village, the Hermitess Gruade.
She was kind enough to shelter the entire organization when His Highness fled to these woods.
I can't believe he's gone. I'm just some parapus orphan from the slums. I was never supposed to outlive any prince. Was he killed here?
No. It all happened in the bunk room in the back. We moved him here to the altar once all was quiet. I don't know if you'd believe me, but I received a revelation. Should the prince die, his body should be kept safe and still here until the rightful day comes. Even if the boy is but a bastard sired by that despicable man. He is still Her Majesty's son.
That's what we missed. Even if he's a bastard sired by that despicable man, to the king, he is still Her Majesty's son.
Despicable? What, you mean the king? Wait, who's Her Majesty?
Do you know nothing of the child's mother? The boy was not brought across borders to us. He was born here, in the ancient sanctum. His mother was our past chiefess, the queen of our elder tribe. She was a flower amidst the forests, a woman of such beauty, grace, and kindness. She saved this child from the flames. And it cost her her life.
Yeah, we accidentally skipped like a massive story bit. I'm so glad we did this.
Her death is on that man's hands. Like a piper, he wandered in and seduced the young queen with his idealistic tales. But he failed to protect his family and died powerless.
I mean, that's not his fault.
The village was only set ablaze because the boy was in the way of the Sanctus Church's designs on the throne. And that insipid king could do nothing to stop them. But you see, this boy, His Highness the Prince, looks so much like Her Majesty. And so... You there, boy. Are you perhaps... No, it can't be. And yet...
Is something amiss, Milady Gruide? He is one of Gallica's allies. His loyalty stands with His Highness, and he has risked much in the prince's name.
Whoa! What's with the formal introduction? You were the one who gave us our orders in the first place.
Hurry.
Hear that voice again coming from somewhere. How did one press of start skip so many different little cutscenes?
Hey, are you okay?
The time has come. Here thou camest to the end of thy journey. This secret place was home to thee. Now, remember thy path thus far. Walk thy life's road and see it anew. I have been waiting for thee to overcome thy trials. Long have I waited for thy return. Know this, his life is not yet ended.
This voice.
It all started on that ill-fated day when the usurper thought to extinguish his light.
He sounds so grumpy right there.
Before he fades away, recount all thou hast seen and felt, all thou hast gained in thy journey's course.
I look now on to the past and see the roads I traveled on this
Gallica
journey.
and thee sought to take the head of Luis, but thy efforts came to naught. So, ye moved instead to join a tournament to decide the land's king.
Ah, didn't mean to do that. Hold on, there we go.
In the prince's name.
Though thy plan was reckless, thou didst win the trust of the people by the support of peers and subjects alike. Thus,
thou didst declare thyself the prince.
It was all for victory.
After overcoming many obstacles, thou didst finally lift the prince's curse. Yet by the cruel machinations of another, the young prince
is no longer with us.
Thy sole mission was to save the prince. Bereft of him, thou hast no further reason to live.
That's not true.
If the prince is dead, wert thy efforts all for naught?
His will lives on.
So thy resolve is yet unbroken. So be it. Thou hast earned the truth. He was consumed by the curse, and was taken by a deep, abiding slumber. So from his earthly form, I extracted his soul, that he might travel the land in Odyssey. And thus his stilled sands began to flow once more. Thy journey hast taken thee far, and taught thee much. So now I ask thee, who art thou?
I'm just a traveler.
Could a mere traveler have borne witness to so many happenings beyond mortal understanding? To name but a few, thy parents, memories of thy youth? Hast thou any recollection of where and how thy youngest years were spent? Yes, thy memories begin the moment thou befriend the prince. Dost thou suspect the reason?
I don't have a past.
As I said, thou hast nothing. Thou art a being of mine own creation. 'Twas Gallica alone who the Resistance laid their hopes upon all those days past. Thy life had yet to begin. All thou hadst, all that had been bestowed, was a memory. Thy mission to save the prince. Thy memories of youth in the prince's company, and the void enshrouding all else in thy past. All signs of thy conjured existence.
I have nothing?
Nay, the words of the prince in thy memory are unmistakably of his true heart.
Ooh, okay.
The memories gained on thy journey, the friendships made, the trust forged. These true things art thine own. All thy trials, all thy experiences wert to prepare thee for this day, to share the strength thou hast gained with thy other self.
Do you mean...
The trust and friendships I gained have been there to support me, but they'd known I came from nothing, and I am nothing. Would people have stood by me and believed in me? And the same goes for my desire to help anyone in need. How is it that I've touted such a laughably idealistic belief this long?
Accept the truth, and thou wilt face an ordeal beyond any you have yet faced. If thy desire is instead for freedom, thou mayest still abandon thy mission and end it here.
Is that right?
I see. My true identity
so I bid
is...
thee answer my final question. Who art thou in truth?
I am... the prince.
Do I get to do a second reveal?
What is this? I feel a curious resonance.
Could this be? But how? Impossible.
Hey, what's going on?
What awaits us now?
I was hoping for like he plunges his
Life
thing
is
into his
not
heart or
yet
whatever.
lost. Thou wert born apart from the prince's flesh, born of his desire to change the world.
Oh my god, it did it again.
In his stead didst thou travel the world. Thou didst support his heart, and became his living fantasy. That is thy true self. Thou art everything the prince sought to be, his ideal.
I don't think it did actually. I think I just panicked for no reason.
It all began with the novel in thy possession. Drawn by the divine relic, Magla coalesced into flesh, and flesh coalesced into form. The form of an elder, as I once was. The time hath come. Awaken, reborn anew. No more the prince's dream of utopia thou wouldst chase. Nay, but thine own.
It's post-apocalyptic. And this is what we really look like. It's why all of our transformations are all pure white and silver. Because we were the prince the whole time.
What? What is this?
Okay, so, yeah, it's technically a post-apocalyptic story. All of the world kind of died out because of magic and stuff, right? The book itself is a divine relic. Like the other divine relics, it can cause Magla manifestations. Like you can store a dragon in it, but the weapon itself, Dracodios, technically is not a dragon. The dragon is just a pure manifestation of Magla itself, harnessed by the spear. Fairies as well are also manifestations of the positive forms of Magla.
What's happened?
Thou hast done well to guide him this far.
This voice. I'm sure I've heard it before.
Thy mind should now be clearing. Remember now thy true charge. He was never a member of the Resistance. The mission, the departure, was thine alone, and thereafter didst thou encounter him.
Who are you? Wait, what am I saying?
In those long ago days, he had just been born into this land. Newborn in form, if not in appearance. The boy needed a guide. Thus, I decided his memories would be thine. Thou wouldst share past and purpose. A memory so crafted to suit thee. My journey to the capital would not be made alone, but alongside him.
No, that can't be. He was there when we got our orders.
I never thought I would have to ask this of you. But there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to. Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all our sakes, you cannot fail.
Nope.
No. But... I was alone?
By this choice, he might be saved. By these gentle, necessary lies, we could live to see this day when our dearest wish is fulfilled. As he traveled alongside thee, he gained both strength and wisdom. It is only by thy efforts that my voice reached him. He has now been saved, and so the journey ends here. Thou hast fulfilled thy mission admirably.
Okay.
What? Wait just a minute. What do you mean, it ends here?
From here on, thy path is thy own. Choose thy own future for thyself, and may the fates smile on thy journey.
Okay, I was about to say, if she just poops out of existence, I'm going to be upset.
How do we make sense of this?
Like any movie, magic. Problem solved.
Is it really you? How do you feel?
I feel a bit lighter.
The voice changed? I was not expecting a voice change. Okay, hold on. Focus.
There seems to be no doubt. He is still himself, but I also sense His Highness within him.
Everyone? I need to tell you something.
Become British.
Truth is...
So let me get this straight. You're saying it's not a matter of our captain and His Highness joining together, but that the former was this disembodied entity sprung from the latter?
Okay, can we talk about a fantasy trope for a second? This is going to sidetrack really bad, but it's something that bugs the ever-living crap out of me as far as like RPGs and stuff go, right? Why does he have a British accent? Nobody else. He grew up with the Elda till his mom died, and none of the Elda have a British accent. Why would he have a British accent? It makes no sense. Quite often in games, you'll find, thank you for the hydrate. Quite often in games, you'll find like towns where it's like, we've all lived here our whole lives, and there's like 4 different accents all for the same village. And you're just like, why is that guy Scottish? Why is he Irish? Why do you have an Indian accent and I'm British? And we've all been living here for the last 30 years and haven't seen another person.
Then that's why he had no memories? 'Cause he didn't even exist?
I see. Finally, I understand the strange feeling I had sensed upon our meeting. What shaped you, so to speak, was the prince's will itself. A part of his consciousness. Yes, the prince's very heart. He was his soul given flesh. Perhaps the form we knew was one shaped by material magla, much like how the dragon god manifests beyond the vessel Drakadios.
Which is why we had to have the book at hand at all times, because without it, we wouldn't exist.
A mass of magla with a will. Forget the dragon god. He may as well have been a dragon himself. Small wonder he awakened to an archetype before anyone else. It was no great aptitude for magic. He himself was composed of pure magla.
The self, as a manifestation of one's desires. Similar to archetypes. I suppose this is the very essence of magic.
Yep, we knew that 20 hours ago, but go ahead.
You mean to say that it was not merely pretense to claim the prince's name? He truly was His Highness all along?
If that's true, this is finally your reunion with your sworn liege. Seems like cause for rejoicing, eh? Lady Hulkenberg of the Royal Guard.
But I failed to protect His Highness.
Rude, I'm right here.
No. I am sure the strength of your devotion had a hand in saving him.
While all and sundry believed the lad had shuffled off, you alone kept the faith, milady. And in the end, that faith was rewarded.
Fate was changed.
Are you really His Royal Highness the Prince? Please, please forgive me, Your Highness. I failed you when you needed me most.
Oh, Hulkenberg crying like tears my heart so bad.
And more, despite being a member of your royal guard, I did not recognize Your Highness at our meeting and showed you such insolence.
Oh God, I pronounce your sentence.
Actually, you've been there for me this whole time.
I'm not gonna get used to the name or the voice change. That's gonna drive me crazy.
He's right, you know. If we'd not met you, we'd certainly never have made it this far.
This time, I will protect you. Even should it cost me my very life. I swear to it.
Finally, we've done Grius proud. We've really done it.
By the way, what are we supposed to call you now? I mean, how would you prefer to be addressed, my lord?
Captain. Same as always.
No, Your Highness! With all respect, I must object.
But this is no time to be thick-headed, Miguel. He's the one who gets to decide what we bally call him, so listen to him, eh? What?
Eh, what?
You, sir, should be begging His Highness for forgiveness on bended knee. You mangled the royal runner to your own whimsy, you lout!
Well, that is, I mean, it was all dashed useful in the end, wasn't it? A bit of clemency, Your Highness.
So much for acting same as always.
It's beyond belief. Not just that a child who'd lain cold for years could come back to us, but through such extraordinary circumstances. After so long in the curse's thrall, he could not even open his eyes. He may as well have been a corpse. But all this time, he had been on his own journey.
Yeah, so they've been taking care of like an empty shell while I went off and had fun with Gallica. My bad.
It was the boy's dearest wish. He spoke of a fantasy of traveling the world, meeting its people, seeing its truths. And without him even knowing, magic made it real. He is a child of Elden blood and Elden legacy. All these years he spent in the village, he has rested near the secret of true magic. Perhaps this is how it came to be.
His was a fantasy surpassing fantasy. It became more than a dream, but a self-possessed force acting of its own volition. And now, reunited, Prince and Fantasy live anew.
Re-Fantasio, if you would say.
A journey to discover and reclaim the self, in all senses.
You could almost say it's a metaphor.
No wonder he set off the custom igniter in the Royal Gauntlet Runner. It was the Crown Prince himself.
Even having it all explained like this, it feels like nothing short of a miracle.
I know, Stroll, you didn't get to do the exposition for once. How do you feel? How do you feel not being Machina for once?
I can only guess that fate had a hand in it.
It's basically Stroll explains everything that's not magic, and Yufa explains everything that is magic, and then we have a bunch of dum-dums, Gallica and Nurse. Good.
That's right. I remember. I heard a voice. Guide him, it said.
What's this all of a sudden?
I'm back to not being British? What is going on?
If you can't remember anything from before our journey, then we probably met after you'd only just... happened, right? I shouldn't have known you then. But for some reason, I was convinced that we'd always been together.
It adds the bane of our existence, yet the biggest reason we can keep moving forwards. As of right now, it's not like that big of a deal, but slowly as we move like on and on, ads hopefully will support the channel more than subs. As much as like, you know, I like the idea of subs and people getting stuff for it, you know, because what's the word I'm looking for? With gosh, I'm space casing so bad right now. What was I talking about? I don't even emojis, not ads. As much as I love the idea of people getting emojis and stuff, I would almost much rather people not spend their own money and we take the money from corporations, if that makes sense. Like, it means a lot that people, you know, donate and subscribe and all that. Like, it kind of feels a little bit more warm, right? However, taking corporation money so that people get stuff for free. Now, I do love free stuff. I would much rather it come out of somebody's pocket that doesn't need it than someone that does. Yes, what? By Jove.
I thought we both received the order to save the prince, too. Ever since the moment I heard that weird voice guiding me.
Welcome back.
A voice? Lady Gruade mentioned a revelation. Hold on, are we still being mystic and metaphorical, or was there an actual guide involved?
There was. It was a metaphor.
I know someone was guiding me. I just don't know who.
So a disembodied voice. Hang on. Come to think of it, that sounds a bit familiar for me too.
Now, do you remember who wrote our divine relic that kept me alive? Moore wrote our divine relic.
Hey, who do you think the voice belongs to? Any idea?
I have a faint idea, but I'm not entirely sure.
I don't think Moore is mother.
Come to think of it, this place, the light coming in, they seem familiar.
Okay, I know why they have to do this, because there's a lot of people that don't get stuff right away. The moment they put me standing on the dais in the middle of this, I immediately knew this is where we all transformed.
I might say the same. When I first acquired this power, I had a vision of somewhere not unlike these grounds.
Does this mean that we've been guided as well?
Perhaps someone has been at your side unseen, watching over the course of your journey.
Yep.
I imagine all this comes as a great shock for you as well. But here you are, back in your rightful place. You have come to the end of your arduous journey and found new life. It is a life well won, grasped with your own two hands.
Chief Descruidae, we want to know everything. What is the truth behind your tribe, the Elder?
This feels like so left field, this question here. Does not feel important even in the slightest.
We Mustari are also said to have inherited truths of the world before us. Histories hushed by sanctism. But this village, it is something altogether different. I myself feel a strange familiarity here. A lost haven underground, yet letting of the sky's light. Please, tell us, what is the Elder Tribe?
I am magical disposition. Exposition, not disposition, whatever.
To know what we are, you must first know our history. Come to the altar room past the door. I'll wait for you there.
I'm giving you time to save the game. I mean, to collect your thoughts. There we go. Oh man, this has been a bit much. It's kind of exciting though that we finally got to the like proper explaining of BS. Oh man, do we go around and talk to all these people again? We'll talk to one and see what it says.
Come off it.
Well, I'm correct pursuing that you are the prince now. I hadn't heard of any elder boy joining the resistance ranks and going out on a mission, so seeing you took me by surprise. To think that you are the prince's other half, fate is a fickle one. Nope, we're not doing this whole re-explaining the thing that just happened thing. That kills me. It bugs me so much that they do that in like anime and Eastern games. It's such an old tradition brought about by some of the most ridiculous concepts.
Huh?
Oh, it's you, Gallica. Long time no see. I'm so happy you're safe. Long time? Was it really been so long? Well, I suppose you're right. I guess you didn't miss me much. It's been several months, you know. Several months? Oh my, Gallica is keeping track of time now, is she?
What?
What do you mean? A day, a month, a year? That's people talk. What does time matter to a fairy? You're almost like them. But I guess that is kind of cool. Yeah, I feel like we're going to get something with Gallica soon, too. Oh, wow, it's Gallica. I don't know why, but I'm so happy right now. Come on, Gallica, let's play. What should we do? What should we play?
About that.
Sorry, but I can't play right now. Another time, okay? What do you mean, can't? Are you really Gallica? Whatever, though. When you can play, I'll be around.
Does this depict the Elder Tribe?
This looks like an old, like, 14th century painting. Like those Renaissance paintings that a lot of the humans are depicted from.
Elder comes from an ancient word, meaning only the old ones. It was an alias given by our ancestors to outsiders who visited the village in the distant past. As for our original name, you know it well by now. We were humans.
The human tribe. So Luis's words...
There is no human tribe. Tribes, as we know them today, did not exist then. We were all one people. Humankind.
A world united. But wait. The ruins on Virga Island. There's nothing left of the civilization today. Was it destroyed? Why? How?
A war. One that all but destroyed the world past. But its destruction was born of the discovery of Magla. Or as you call it today, magic.
Do you wonder what they battled over? Without the divided tribes, what could they have disagreed on? They were racked by division over the abstract, undefinable idea of rightness. They tried to destroy something invisible, and destroyed only themselves.
Yep. Sounds about right.
And any idea of absolute rightness is born of fear. That fear flooded the world and gave way to war. And their age of prosperity came to be called the world before. The people we now call tribes were either born of artificial division for the sake of the war effort, or natural adaptation to survive the hellscape after.
There you go. We're all technically humans. Humanity was torn apart by fear and anxiety, giving rise to the tribes as we know them.
Unbelievable. We've met plenty of people caught up in pointless conflicts. Given the choice, I know they'd rather live in a world without tribal division. And yet the truth is, that world's already fallen apart. More than that, it's how we all got here.
Such drastic physical changes would normally have taken eons to effect. Accelerated by Magla, however, it was only a matter of a scant few centuries.
Yeah, it's only been like 200 years since the fall of the world.
You understand now, yes. We, the Elder, are the survivors of the old world. Our ancestors fled the flames of war and thus escaped the ensuing divisions.
Means the prince, that is to say, I am the scion of both the old world and the new.
It beggars belief. It is nothing short of astounding. But then, why do we know these monsters as humans?
By the war's end, both sides were consumed by fear. Their magical assaults escalated with each retaliation, until it was beyond all control. Our world became a hell. Rampant Magla distorts the body and mind. By now, I'm sure you know that better than you ever wished to. Humans are what remains of that branch of humankind that succumbed to melancholia. Broken, horrifying testaments to their own mistakes in the war of magic. Some persist, breed, and multiply as any beast does. Others live centuries of agony before their lives burn out. Even we do not know the full scope of their nature.
Lumin, how is it going, Lumin? If you're at work, I know you can't hear me, but I hope you're having a great day, if you can.
Regardless, when the 8 tribes settled in this land, our claim to the human legacy was forgotten. To the people, the name only meant slavering, insane monsters. Therefore, we took on an alias instead. The same one by which we are known today. The Elder.
So, the old world couldn't control its magic. And
hold on.
wait. How does the Sanctus Church fit in? All this revisionist history to spread their magic igniters.
That was an Amber Alert. That's good. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna have to take some deep breaths. All those always like freak me out really bad. I had to like panic and like read all the names and stuff. Okay, so the old world couldn't control magic, and wait, how does the Sanctus Church fit in? All this revisionist history to spread their magic igniters?
Indeed, what are magic igniters to you? Tools for the church to shackle the people, perhaps? Or weapons that hide magic's true potential? Am I close to the mark?
Yep.
In truth, it's the opposite. Igniters are tools made to limit magic. Restraints made in self-discipline, meant to avert a repeat of history's destructive mistakes. The Sanctus Church of today is muddied by greed. But its faith was born of good intentions. They once urged self-control, and thus control of one's personal magic. At times, they preached we must close our eyes to the truth when it would only lead us to ruin. By this benign tenet, history was obscured, and the Elder denounced.
And again, it's only been like 200 years since this happened.
I had no idea. There's a grim irony in that.
His Majesty only hid his son's ancestry to protect him. Yet in the end, that meant Forden could attack the village under any pretext he liked, his motives concealed. With all that said, you have now reclaimed your true form. The friends that stand with you are of different tribes and ideologies, but of one mind. As you are now, you may walk the path of the rightful king. The path of a modern world, where the tribes walk as individuals, yet with mutual respect and cooperation.
The sovereign's power, thou king to be, entrusted with the will of the people. To bear their hopes is to be their rock in the storm, and to face anxiety in their names.
Here we go. This is what I was wanting earlier.
Yet, anxiety itself is not something to blindly reject or desperately cast away. It begins with a simple thing, acknowledging its existence. Accept thy weakness, walk forward alongside it, and thou wilt grow strong and true in its company.
There is weakness in people. I'm sure there are many who would say that helping anyone in need is nothing but a fantasy.
And besides...
But realistic or not, I refuse to accept Luis's methods as an alternative. The weak are those who dissent don't deserve to die out, as though that's the natural order. My determination to challenge the unknown has awakened the heroic embodiment of the prince.
Let's do it.
If no one understands me right away, I accept that. There will still be meaning in showing them my convictions in the fight to come. That is my mission.
That's it. I've made up my mind. I'm with you to the end, no matter what.
Where's this coming from?
Before we got there, this guiding voice thing told me my duties were over. But what am I gonna do? Just go, okay, bye? Especially after we've come this far together? No. I'm going to face Luis with you, even if it is scary.
Okay, so a lot of people complained when the game first came out of why you couldn't pick a female over a male. And there was this giant discourse about how that was sexist and it wasn't forward thinking and whatever. We literally were the prince. It had to be the prince. We had to be a male because we were the prince. You know how many people would complain if your alternate self was a female and then you went back to the prince's body? Like, people would have blown their tops over it.
Even you've got to cope with anxiety, eh?
I realized something in our travels. Anxiety can lead people astray. But overcoming it makes a person stronger. There's always anxiety in the unknown.
I know what it's like to be afraid of something I don't understand. That's why I think it's my duty to help people face and connect with their anxiety. Is that okay? From now on, it's not about orders. I'm with you, because I want to be.
To be honest, this whole bringing up that she was here because of orders, I kind of forgot about. I just thought she was here because she was our friend, so.
I'll be counting on you as always.
Yeah, now we're back to our regular voice. We're not British anymore. We were only British for 2 lines of dialogue.
Same here. Stick close to me, okay?
Well, we're past the worst of it. But the problem remains. Luis's dark magic. We've seen it turn the boy into a monster. And no doubt he can do it again.
He turned a purely magical being of Magla into a monster.
A forbidden spell, turning sane mortals into the fearsome human monsters. In other words, a destabilizing magic, turning a person's Magla into a snarl beyond control. This man named Luis, he may have his own past in this ancient sanctum.
You also got an Amber Alert? I just got one not even 10 minutes ago. Tsunami warning? So a different alert. Okay. Amber alerts are specifically lost children. So it might be the same tonal thing, but that's technically different and kind of worse, actually.
Luis has been here? What do you know of him?
What do you wish to know?
All of it.
What is this forbidden spell?
The essence of magic is in the control of Magla. However, just as its chaos may be calmed, it can also be deliberately pushed out of control. That was what you saw. He whipped your innate magic to a frenzy and you were lost to melancholia. Just as the humans of the ancient war once were.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go grab something real quick. I'll be back in like 5. Yeah, this whole thing has just been a lore dump.
In every age, the cause and effect are the same. People learn fear, become slaves to their anxiety, suffer, and thus, the power of magic is born.
Pardon me. You mean to say anxiety is the source of all magic?
Magla is a substance born of the heart, generated when one feels anxiety or fear. By certain means, it may be kindled into power. That is what we call magic.
Now, funnily enough about this, right? There has been recent studies that have figured out that anxiety can generate electricity, or what we think is electricity. So they've made materials that have anxiety-like properties that when you like mess with them, it generates energy. So this could easily have been taken as an adaptation of that study and turned into magic.
In this way, it is by virtue of the anxiety in our hearts that we gain the power to overcome it. Magic is a natural process, and anxiety is its invaluable, irreducible fuel. But in turn, those burdened with more anxiety and fear produce more and more magla from their hearts. Without the willpower to face your fear, the magla overflows. Uncontrollable by magic, it can give rise to strange and terrible happenings as it manifests, with the world embroiled in chaos. These outbursts of swollen magic may be happening all across our kingdom.
'Tis the answer to everything. The melancholia crystals, the beasts driven feral. The very land is erupting with the weight of its people's fears.
Hold on. If Luis's art is rooted in bringing out this chaos, then anyone might be next.
Yep.
He said he became a monster because he's elder, but that wasn't the complete story. If what you say is true...
Indeed. All people today are ultimately descendants of humankind. If Luis so chooses, he could turn anyone into a human monster. Yet as long as you have the strength to confront your fears, even this transformation may be defied and overcome. What do you wish to know?
That's weird. That's weird that we just came right back to this, like, choose your own adventure talking book.
Who exactly is Luis?
Every time I heard of his doings in the wider world, I felt more and more sure that Luis is from this village. His knowledge of humans, his skills in magic, his grasp of darker arts, they're all beyond a mere soldier to begin with, however prodigious. As it happens, a name does occur. Among those old families who perished in the fire, there was one by the name of Caradrius.
That's the name of his ship, by the way. He named his ship Caradrius.
A family of doctors, I believe. In an effort to better heal the ills of the people, they had studied spells much like the ones he now exploits. The details are long since lost to the fire. But if Luis bears our legacy, that may be the reason for his vast knowledge.
So he's either a Clamar hybrid, or his horns are fake, which is, I feel, kind of likely. He also has the same weird blue eyes as the rest of the Elder.
Wait, what about Luis's ambition? The vision Rella saw. Do you think he actually wants to turn everyone in the kingdom into humans?
There is no known magic strong enough to turn many people at once, and none that can be cast quickly.
Even if it was possible, I don't know what it would accomplish. But this is Luis we're talking about. Who knows what he's thinking?
But if he would turn people into humans, if in the unlikely event that happens...
If there is any motive for such cruelty, it can only be hatred.
I mean, his family died because of the kingdom, like because of Ford and because everybody that supported him. I feel like he's just doing the watch the world burn at this point.
If Luis is truly from this village, then their fire would have cost him everything. Such unjust tragedy could easily beget a thirst for revenge. Even if it meant wielding a magic that twisted life into something terrible, instead of uplifting it. Indeed, it seems the opposite of an archetype. A truly dark power.
Who goes there? Someone flees!
That's him! The malformed assassin who struck at the prince! He's bound for the woods!
After him!
Okay.
What now?
Let's throw a save. Oh, no, that's a load. Ah. Okay, sorry. I overreacted. Oh, man. Okay, let's do some slightly faster sprint line and chase after, God, what was his name? They really gonna make me run all the way back on foot? Okay. Russell, is everyone safe? We are. We've had no casualties, however. We were swept aside like pebbles, unworthy of even a glance. I could do nothing but watch. I was powerless against him. There was little else that could have been done. Responsible as they were for the downfall of the resistance, any move we might have made would have resulted in needless sacrifices. I believe the intruder sensed the power of the prince's awakening and came to investigate. I don't know why he would have run away, but surely he has a plan. Tread carefully. He was literally in the room with us listening to what'd you call her, Meemaw lore, Meemaw's lore dump?
Ready?
Yeah. Are you ready to face the attacker? We have an ad coming up. Bye. Have fun. I'll see you in a minute. And while that's happening, I'm going to drink some juice. I say juice. It's, is beet juice still juice, technically? It's beet juice. Pretty good. Okay, we're still chilling, and we're still chilling, and we're still chilling. This game's so crazy. We're getting close, though. The problem is we still have a month of in-game time before the final fight. So, like, we're going to get this done. I think we're going to get this story bit done where we fight this guy and we do some stuff. And then it's going to dump us back out in the world of trying to, like, do everybody else's story quest. We still haven't got Brigida's quest line yet. Welcome back. I actually, okay, this is going to sound bad. I saw a study. There's a, I can't remember the numbers, but there's some repairing cream, basically, that helps fight your RNA and DNA and all that from decaying as fast. So what it does is kind of like halts that and like rewinds it a little bit. And they've actually found like really good case studies of it making people look 10 and 15 years younger because it fixes a lot of the stuff of just like natural decaying of your skin and hair and whatnot. It's like ridiculously expensive. It's like thousands of dollars for like each treatment or whatever. But so far, it looks like it's quite literally rolling back the clock on people and making them physically younger, not just appearance-wise. And I don't know how I feel about that. That feels off.
You? Zorba. So it was you behind the attack?
Indeed it was. I killed the prince, though he died all too easily. And the odd thing was, his aura felt awfully similar to yours. So I decided to bide my time a while and listen. And it's a good thing I did. There really is something stranger going on. Who are you? Are you the prince or not? Whatever your answer, I must report back to Lord Luis.
Do you have any idea what Luis is really scheming? If he becomes king, everyone in this country is doomed.
If that is what Lord Luis so desires, then I shall see it done.
It's almost impressive how blind your faith in him is.
I suppose it's just easier to follow instead of thinking for himself. He's forgotten anything he really wants.
What did you intend to do? The crown is too heavy a burden for your reedy frame.
Well, that's rude.
Lord Luis is the true king, who will save the worthy. And you are nothing but a powerless imposter, only fit to be sacrificed.
He is no imposter, fiend. His Highness has finally taken his first steps on the road to victory. Here, at his journey's end, after enduring these countless hardships, he has become a true successor, a true ruler. Because he knows the people's suffering firsthand.
Uh-oh. I didn't swap specs. I wanted to see the print stuff, but I didn't swap, so I haven't fed myself a salad or nothing. Oh, no.
Well, imposter or not, it's all the same if he's a corpse. And so I shall return the prince and his dying legacy to the underworld, where they belong.
This is the original human we fought.
Bastard! I wondered why you ran away, but it was all to lure us straight to this monstrosity.
Big stretch.
This is the first human we fought in the game. Back at the original tower. I understand why people want to do this whole, like, we're back where you began, history repeats itself full cycle thing. But when they shoehorn it in like this, it always feels, I don't know, it feels like it loses its pizzazz.
Keep your guard up. The Melancholia is fueling his magic power.
We've come too far to be stopped by something like him. Let's put our power on full display.
Oh, cool. It auto put me as the prince. Okay. The power of the newly earned archetype Prince surges forth. And unlike the other archetypes, we actually are this form. It's not like we're in a shell or
Guy
whatever.
shows up again just when we've unlocked some new power. Kind of feels like fate by now. Okay, time for a new fight. Stay on your toes.
Prince archetype is an archetype exclusively to the protagonist. You can now change it out as you wish. It can act as a support for all synthesis skills. It has unique traits not found in other archetypes, but none of its skills can be transferred.
All right, let's take it down and then get after Zorba.
But because we haven't put any points into it, I only have one skill.
Is there another? Forward! Prince! I'll cut through!
Even my strength. I pray you're ready. It is your turn!
We need to kill
Who
the
should I
apples
be?
off
Here
first.
I
I forgot
go.
about that. Oh, here we
You're
go.
out of here. Destroying's my
That was
thing.
ridiculous.
Is everyone all right? Behold, we stand together.
Wait,
Let
what?
us fight
Oh, because I don't have
as
enough
one.
turns for it. Okay.
I stand waiting.
Yeah, I forgot to kill all the apples first. I get it.
Shield! We've got to do something about those apples. Let me handle those apples. All right, leave it to...
It's literally the exact same fight from before.
Come forth,
And I feel like it's all entirely just to show
Here.
we've grown.
Take my fullest power. I vow to turn the tide of the battle.
Okay, let's do.
Berserker!
I love this part.
Go!
Not it.
There we go. God, he hits like a truck.
Magic Knight! For all that we strive for!
He's like our newly acquired party member, and he just hits so much harder than everything else. All of his abilities either create weakness or ignore resistances. It's kind of fantastic.
Tis yours.
Wind!
You hit their weakness! That's your opening, Captain!
I destroyed it! I pray that
Who should I beat down first?
Follow my lead!
Wonton destruction.
Emilio left him wide open! Let's hit that, you
Justice prevail! Not this one.
Do I? Yeah, let's do
Blade
it.
in hand! Not
It's a bit of a waste, but
Magic Knight!
Hulkenberg got them right in their
I will
weak
fight.
spot.
almighty damage to one enemy increases damage against human type monsters.
Show them our might!
Let's do this! A tough one.
Oh,
More apples? Quick, knock them off again! Regenerated the headweed! Here comes another round of wind attacks! His legs are back to normal! Ugh, we'd only just taken them out!
rude. Such a pain in the butt. Is that supposed to be our phase 2 on this fight?
I can do
Oh well. Wind magic to everything.
Yeah! Yupa hit their weakness!
I'm ready whenever. I love this part.
Tis yours.
I did my hydrate and stretch. I already did all that. I did it when we were doing the Zorba conversation. Right before he summoned this guy. I just didn't say it out loud. That might be my bad. I was actually talking about it in the ad break. I have a new drink. It's a Bolt House. I don't know if you've had those, but this one is vitamin B and a tiny bit of caffeine. It's like 80 milligrams of caffeine, but it's beet juice is the base, and it's got pineapple and passion fruit in it. And it's low on sugar, which I have to have. It's still got quite a bit. It's like 45 grams of sugar, but it's a lot smaller than like a regular soda and stuff, and it's really good. I originally did not like beet juice or beet products, and as long as they aren't canned, I'm realizing I actually kind of like beets. Weird, but I like it.
That'll do.
Oh no. Oh well. That's the enemy I could steal the good abacus from.
Not bad at all.
I was supposed to steal the abacus from him. Whoops.
Nice. I feel stronger already.
I continue to grow.
Yeah, it was a triple damage abacus that can only be stolen during that fight.
I am most certainly.
Not that it matters. We'll most likely stay in the prince form from here on out because a lot of our fights are going to be against humans anyway, so.
The bastard got away.
I say, you chaps boggle the mind. It's no mean feat to fight on even footing with a human.
I'd hoped as much. You may yet have the power to face Luis at his full strength.
It's good to see you're safe. We've certainly taken these powers a long way. Maybe we thought ourselves invincible. But don't worry. At long last, the prince is safe. In a manner of speaking. Everything's going according to plan.
Still, what's our next move? The people think you a monster. We'll not find any public backing like this.
Alces once said that His Highness the Prince was a soul born into adversity. He is royalty and elder both, heir to the legacies of heaven and earth. He is water and fire in condemned conflux.
Sure.
When the day comes that His Highness may be revered as the good ruler he can be, then the world will truly be free of prejudice. And that, he said, is why we fight.
In his own words, huh? We have to fight for what he believed in. All the more reason we can't turn from this.
Nobody said we were going to, Gallica. Years of prejudice won't go away overnight. Nothing could accomplish that. But if we don't believe things can change, they never will.
Come what may, my life is a shield raised in your Highness's name. Are you prepared to fight Luis to the bitter end?
Of course. I'm prepared.
So weird that we had that British voice for 2 lines and we're back to our normal MC voice.
Yes, that determination is how we'll stop him.
Not only that, but we're still using our player-created name.
If he ends up king, he'll be sending all traitors to the gallows. Not just us, but any innocent folks he doesn't find use for.
I do wonder that if it was like the actor having to force this regal voice and then just gave up halfway through when we're like, just treat us as normal. We've lost too many lives along this journey. If Luis has his way with the world, such partings would become all too common. We have to stop him.
Look, I'm never giving up hope either, okay? All we have to do is beat him, right?
I don't get why we do these weird pauses, like where we reiterate the exact same crap we've been talking about for the last 40 hours. Nobody has changed their mind this entire time.
Looking forward to the victory song.
Well, we've got bigger things to worry about now. But I can't wait to sing it.
You... I'm still amazed. You really do look just like your mother. Truly, you are a child of fate. Your mother, she loved your father, and you with all her heart. The injustice that befell this village is not your fault.
Weren't you just calling my dad a bastard because he tricked my mother? Like, what?
But listen well. Once you leave this village, you cannot return until you have fulfilled your ambitions. After all, an old crone like me can't take care of you forever. If you want to overcome your hardest challenges, you'll have to face them yourself.
This is entirely just so we don't have to, like, properly populate the village.
The world's fate is in your hands. Please, put an end to the tragedies of humankind's failures.
Yeah, but she said tricked. I don't know.
Thank you for everything.
It just feels like every time we talk to somebody, in the beginning of the conversation, they treat us like shit. Or treat someone we know like shit. And then at the end of the conversation, it's like, oh, my bad. And then they're all like sweet and loving. And I'm, melancholia, I guess, whatever.
Our final battle lies ahead.
They're doing a callback to how people in the beginning of the game treated us. And I'm just being salty.
Yet, before all else, His Highness has only just awoken. Let us rest in the Gauntlet Runner for today, and advance to the royal capital tomorrow.
I wonder if they're like, am I still sleeping in a tube now that they know I'm a prince? Yep.
It's a bit strange, isn't it? I was convinced we'd been together
I
for
love
a
my
long time,
tube bed.
but I can't believe we've only just met.
A few months, but yeah.
The beginning of my journey may have been a false memory, but my journey with you and the memories we've made, those are all real.
Yep.
Well, guess I'm repeating myself,
Also, yep.
but I'm glad we're working together.
Stay beside me forever.
Also, yep.
Wow. When you put it like that.
Yes, I technically did say treat me like before.
Thanks.
I'm gonna make her blush. No. Gallica's like people now. Having overcome her trial, I can sense the newfound conviction of Gallica as both an ally and a friend.
The mystical fairy, Gallica. She who still keeps the virtues of the mage. Your tempered bond has become a fire-forged trust. Thus, a new pinnacle of heroism awakens within thee. By the grace of her newfound powers, work together to give truth to our hopes and fulfill thy destiny.
What?
We've got the path to tomorrow in front of us, and I'm gonna lead the way.
We finally get the last two mage classes, which haven't been ground up at all. We haven't worked on them at all. Final battles just ahead. Here's a new class. Here's 2 new classes. Here's 3 new classes. Congratulations. Have a good day. You may gain extra turn icons. We still have Juna and Juna, Basilio, and Yufa to even do their final quests on. Brigida we haven't done. We haven't finished Barden's either. You can now study Elemental Master in Academia as well as the Warlock.
When things get tough, remember this magic. The music meant for you will play in your head.
We didn't have the... Okay, when they originally did this in the beginning of the game, it blew my mind. It shouldn't have, but it did. We did the whole first half of the game with no music. And then she cast the spell on us to give us the background music for the game. Like, we didn't have battle music, we didn't have cutscene music. She cast that on us and we've had music ever since. I didn't realize till just now we haven't had music again. This is the magic of music that Gala cast for me once. Now that I think about it, it may have helped me in ways I didn't realize.
By the way, the Chieftess told me something about your novel. Apparently your parents gave you that book when you were still just a kid. I wonder what your parents wanted you to get from reading it. What they hoped for you, I guess. I suppose you'll have to find out for yourself.
This book is a legacy of my parents, the late King Euchronia, and the Queen of the Elden Sanctum, who we still don't know her name. Perhaps the utopia depicted in this book wasn't a mere fantasy, but the ideas of the old world passed down in the Sanctum.
The part we're reading today is the last chapter. It's about the ruler of this ideal world. Let's read it together. The last chapter is about the ruler of a utopia. The one who governs this utopia must have an unwavering will. To maintain justice in this world, there are innumerable obstacles to overcome.
Now, don't forget, Luis has the exact same book. I'm assuming his isn't a divine artifact, but he has the exact same book we have.
Yet, as long as one lives by their ideals, those who support them are sure to follow. A utopia is not the creation of a single mind or a single power. It is a world shaped by all its people. The last part sounds a little more metaphorical.
A metaphor of refantasio, you would say.
There's a little more. However, even a utopia may one day fray at the edges, and its people may come to conflict over the question of what is right. What is a true utopia? What is a true ruler? None have yet found the answers to these questions.
Then true utopia has never been achieved. The so-called utopia depicted within the novels based on the old world, but it fell into ruin and was destroyed by war. So this book traces the trajectory of the old world. Are these truly the ideals we're striving for? It seems rather the opposite.
So even the author of this book struggled with these questions. And if you become king, you'll have plenty of tough questions and struggles to face yourself.
And again, the author of the book was a Moor. And we got the book from our mother and father.
Lady Gruaday mentioned the king was a real idealist when he first arrived at the village. But little by little, the pains of reality crushed his hope. And he even lost his son. In the end, his will was broken. He didn't lift a finger to stop the church's rise to power.
The other weird thing is we know that there's another continent outside of the one we're on.
With that in mind, I can honestly see why people would be drawn to Luis. His values are radical and cruel, but he's devoted to them. Unshakable, even. But we can't lose either. For the sake of everyone who has believed in us along the way.
Even if I were to win the throne, there's no guarantee my idealistic vision could ever become a reality.
Right.
And yet, what choice is there but to believe in them and fight on? The alternative is to accept that nothing will
You've
change.
got the power to change the world. And the one who gave it to you was, well, yourself. And that's what I'm going to help you with. That's my mission. My real mission. And I'm going to see it through.
Gallica, I've decided now you're gonna be queen. Yep. After discussing the novel and our ideals with Gallica, I closed my eyes. I wonder who we're gonna visit in our dreams. Exposition number 8. Academia. Seems I've been summoned by more in my dreams.
I saw what happened. So, you found a way to unequivocally shape your destiny. As far as I know, there is no record of your newly acquired archetype ever being used, even in ancient times.
Because it's new, I made it myself.
An archetype whose existence was only theoretical, known to some scholars as the magic of true sovereignty. Indeed, a power of legend. I once said that to be elder was your inescapable fate. However, it seems the truth was more complex than that. Magic is a process by which we confront fate and tame anxiety, and archetypes are its essence. They are manifestations of a resolve capable of heroic virtue. So then, what do you think is the foremost, most inescapable fate a person must bear?
Oh God, okay. It's a big
The
question.
foremost fate. Not really sure, but for me to be me, and for you to be you? Or something like that.
Aw, Gallica.
Indeed, it is birth that is inescapable. You cannot choose who you are born to, and once your familial place is determined, that fate cannot be changed. Yet by some strange tangle of destiny, you were given a choice that the very act of existence denies most people. By your own will, you were born again as a prince.
Yep.
Do you understand? You stand on the threshold of truly becoming a ruler. Not as an unearned title of bloodline's chance, nor as a mere authority over people. You have taken control of your life. You are ready to rule your very self.
To know oneself is to know something. I've forgotten the rest of the phrase in the middle of saying it.
That is what it truly means to be a hero. And it is the crux of the power that is awakened within you. What glorious coincidence indeed, that I, as a scholar of archetypes, might cross paths with and witness such a remarkably fated boy. It almost bespeaks him.
Indeed, 'tis his hands that bear our fate.
Okay, now he gets to hear the voice.
Who?
Okay.
I remember. I know that I know this voice. Had I forgotten it all this time?
Okay, this one's really important. I've got to pop out and we're going to snooze this ad. We're going to snooze that for 5 minutes and hope we can get through this.
Yes. I swear I've heard it before. And I let it slip from my mind. Who are you? You with this voice that moves hearts. Speak. Who are you? Why have you awakened this boy to his power?
If it is answers you seek, then go and claim them.
Are you? Could you be?
As for you, I bid thee awaken. Move onward to thy final ordeal. Take thy place at the final proving of the Ascension of Kings.
My consciousness faded away and I was sent back to my sleep. I'm reminded that Moore was the author of a fantasy novel, as Moore visited the ancient Elden Sanctum.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
But we have a oh! Hold up. Oh, that's not what I wanted. No! It broke.
Okay. All our preparations
hold
are
up.
just about set.
Record that.
Now that this is
Record
actually
that.
happening, I've got some pre-show jitters.
I was trying to take a screenshot. I want that version of yeah, the hair shortened because it's now him. He's laying there and he's like he fell asleep reading the book and they're like, yeah, thank you. I'm gonna my plan is to crop it and I'm gonna make it my screen on my phone. Because like Gallica's like curled up on the pillow.
All this royalty? It always felt they lived in a different world to the likes of me. Never figured I'd be walking alongside one myself.
'Tis proof that bloodline decides nothing. We are one people living in a shared world.
Looks like this is gonna be our last mission. Any final words you want to say?
Don't get reckless out there.
Thank you. Wait, was that beautiful, graceful leopard ceiling cat? I love it. The naming conventions, man, it kills me.
It falls to us to fight with all our might.
About the new stuff you've felt and learned since becoming the prince. Can I ask you one more thing?
Go ahead.
Why is it that you want to be king? It's not about honor or power, is it?
I want to protect this country and its people.
'Tis the answer I hoped for. As your knight, I will ever serve you with all my soul and ability.
However, if it was actually how we've been treating our character, the bottom one of some coin would be nice would probably fit better.
Well, I guess this means we're ready as we're gonna be.
Okay.
This place here.
We don't get an option. It's just straight to Grand Trad no matter what. I think. Let me see if I can just choose somewhere else.
Come on.
Nope. Just straight to Grand Trad. Cool.
Let's move.
Good.
You see?
Good. I doubt all in Grand Trad will give us a warm reception. Still, we should choose not to fight. Then Luis's victims will only pile higher.
Yeah.
Easy to say we'll help anyone, but doing it is a whole nother thing. All the more reason we've got to prove we're serious about putting our lives on the line. We'll lead by example. Besides, it won't be the first time we've crawled our way up from the bottom. Yeah, the last time we checked, we're in like 3,000th place again.
After having made so many sacrifices, the group has gained new powers and ascertained new truths. Their arch-enemy, Luis, already has one hand on the throne. Even so, they march ever forward, spirits rekindled by battle. They head to Grand Trad, for the fight is far from over.
That Elden boy is nowhere to be found. I suppose it's only a matter of time until Luis takes the throne.
How are these guys still alive? This feels so weird that they keep showing this council.
I don't see the general. The voice of the pro-Luis faction became too overwhelming. He was ultimately forced out of his position. Why is this happening? Even if the Sanctus Church's favor has collapsed, why is it that Luis alone is reaping the benefits?
The public mind is the same as it's always been. It's too difficult to find answers in themselves, so they follow those who provide. We've certainly relied on that ourselves.
It's always easier to follow than to have to make all the risks yourself. Now that we are out of ideas, what can we do?
Can you imagine Luis on the throne? Can you imagine what he'd do with us? We'd be the first on the chopping block. Do we hide? Run? Our ships are in port.
Okay, we have our ads. I'm going to sit here. We're going to chill for a minute. I'm kind of excited about tonight and tomorrow. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be a shit show, but it'll be fun. I say that. I haven't properly enjoyed an ARPG in a while. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping so much to have a game that'll carry me till February. If you pre-purchased the Indiana Jones game, though, you can play that today, I think. And then the 9th is when it launches live for everybody. But because I'm one to gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Because I'm one to not spend money unless I absolutely have to. Like, we won't be seeing that till it's on Game Pass. Like, I'm already paying for Game Pass, so I might as well use it, that type of thing. Oh gosh, I'm trying to fix something in the background here while we wait. The twins are streaming, so I'm trying to get their kicks up and running so it'll at least show up as a viewer for them. They've helped me so much. It's really hard for me not to at least show some support for them when all it takes is a tiny bit of bandwidth. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Bump, bump, bump. Welcome back.
Is this really the time for idle chit-chat?
Battling. I swear, man.
Who are you?
What? He's like one of the third most famous people in the entire world right now. Okay.
Just a passing wastrel. Thought I'd drop in for a word since I was in the area. You might have one way to survive.
Well then, let us depart.
Lord Luis, your pardon. We've encountered an unexpected snag. I killed the prince in the Elden village. I confirmed his death, yet it appears the boy candidate has merged with his corpse. It seems the prince is now resurrected.
Resurrected?
Yes, and what's more...
And what's more, fade to black, so it's
The boy
easier to do
candidate
this.
was the actual prince after all. Something about his soul having traveled independently, and then returning to his corporeal body.
I see. So his ideal form was spun from Magla. Whatever the case, this means the land's true prince has reawakened in his sanctum. How interesting. After these long years, my chase may finally come to an end. My nemesis awaits.
What?
Lord Luis, what is it about that bastard that fascinates you? Yeah, I won't let it end like this. I have to do better. I need more power. I will show Lord Luis I am worthy of his gaze.
You're literally standing in the room with him. That is so creepy.
We'll soon be arriving above the royal capital.
Excellent. As planned, increase altitude and enter the royal palace in the sky.
Are you certain? We'll be heading directly to His Majesty, the former king, and...
Rest assured. That old fool is powerless to stop me now. Proceed.
Understood.
Let the final banquet begin.
Wait, is the king still technically alive?
Come on, any takers? Any bets for the other candidates? Remember, if Luis loses, a silver coin could turn into mountains of Reeve.
This guy again.
What are you trying to say? You think Count Luis is going to lose?
Oh no, of course not. I'm just saying.
I'll call that bet. All in on His Highness the Prince.
A Sanctus bigwig gambling away his tithes? This really is the end of the world. Didn't know his esteemed princeliness had any supporters left.
I mean, he's not really the prince, is he? Was actually a monster in disguise all along. Haven't you heard the news? The times we live in, I tell you.
Must be tough, being an easy mark. It didn't take much for you to buy everything Luis was selling about the prince. The fireworks went off the moment he said, "Behold." Remember? You don't think there's any chance Luis orchestrated the entire thing?
Oi, churchman! You saying Count Luis lied to us? You think he cast some big illusion?
An illusion, eh? What if I said it's a power more dangerous than that? Always struck me as odd. We all know Luis, the mighty human slayer, but how does he keep finding the things one after another?
Ah, he's going for the Spider-Man gambit, the J. Jonah Jameson gambit of Spider-Man invents all the crimes just so he can solve them himself. I mean, to be honest, that's what he's doing, but...
Seems a bit convenient, if you ask me. Like he knows in advance where these monsters will appear to cause havoc.
Easy to nitpick and gripe about him, isn't it, churchman? Maybe someone needs to shut you up.
All right. Let's keep things civil, eh? No sense becoming a monster yourself.
Oi! What's all this fuss about? Damn it! When Count Luis is king, you'll all be the first at the gallows. You'll die just like Forden.
Well, they're probably just as anxious as the rest of us. All that yelling and thrashing helps fight it off. Humans have been sighted near the capital, after all.
I bet they have.
Pockets of society have resented the upper class for ages now, but this might be the spark that lights the kindling. Luis's respect for power is certainly cruel, but it's fair to an extent. Those of us pushing the status quo have always struggled to understand the appeal.
Even then, everyone's on edge. They'll jump at any excuse to argue and snarl at each other. Never seen it this bad. Not normal, I say.
It's the one thing that kills me about this game. We have this problem in real life right now, and it just feels slightly too close to home.
Blind fanaticism and doom go hand in hand.
If we don't find some common ground soon, it'll collapse beneath us.
Okay, not to doom and gloom. Have you found out anything else about your tsunami warning? Because that's got me worried a bit.
Luis left saying that he'd be waiting at the royal capital. Only one place he could be. All eyes are on his Skyrunner as it rises to the flying palace. What are we about to see?
Ah, the royal palace. It's been a while. Do you hear me, O king? Stubborn and deathless? This country is distorted. You and the other titled authorities decide who grows fat and who is devoured. The country knows no war only because our very core is built upon a system of societal predator and prey. It cannot be defied from within. That is peace, but not order. Hand over the royal scepter. The game is over. The country needs change, and I will provide it.
Thou impertinent faith breaker, hast thou no shame in preempting the day of judgment?
Do you presume yourself a god? Is that why you wrought your face in stone and took it to the heavens? You're nothing. Just an ordinary, broken old man.
How wouldst thou wield the king's magic? To what end?
To purify all that your kind have left to rot. You threw away your ideals, but I will never make that mistake.
Only the people's chosen may take the throne. The royal scepter and its resting place remain beyond you.
This royal scepter, the royal magic. Did you think that only generations of kings were aware of their secrets? Why someone can manipulate world-changing power by use of only a single scepter? Why only those supported by the people can use it? Listen well, O king. The truth behind the royal magic.
The truth behind the royal magic that y'all can't hear because it's not time for it yet.
The country truly is putrid with sin. In other words, if I took hold of it now, then I would have the power to change the world itself.
How didst thou learn of this?
How?
I knew they were fake.
Thou wert elder.
Can we get his crown thing? That'd be kind of cool. Have some horns for the day.
You were not always blind to this country's rot. When you visited our sanctum, I saw and knew the passion in your heart. And yet, what happened to our village? What happened to this country?
Didn't I say this like an hour ago that his horns look like weirdly misshapen compared to all the other Clamar, that they looked like a crown itself?
You cannot stop me any longer. Nor can anyone else. Save one lone possibility.
Snatching victory from the maw of catastrophe, the party descends again on the royal capital, Grand Trad. But they are greeted only by ominous skies. Their return hardly counts as a triumph, considering how they departed. Anticipating conflict, the Gauntlet Runner comes to a quiet stop.
What the hell's wrong with the sky? Isn't that... Oi! That monster boy's come back!
Ah, that's why the sky's grown so hellish. The half-dead bastard returns with his head held high.
A more aggressive welcome than I expected. Would any introductions help them to understand?
It's useless. Words are cheap. Still, we should walk with pride instead of trying to keep our heads down.
True enough.
His Royal Highness, the Prince, returns! Luis distorted his form through strange and terrible magics, but the curse is now dispelled. His true form has been restored!
Oi, if that's really His Highness, then tell us why in His Majesty in the sky stop all this bloodshed?
Cause he's an imposter! Just like Count Louis said! You'll not fool us again, beast!
Oi! Calm down. At least listen.
And you! Never thought I'd see one of the Magnus brothers standing against Count Luis, even the thick one. He took in a parapus like you, and you spit on him! Scum! Only thing traitors deserve is a tight rope and a stiff beam. And you want us to support the prince!
Lady Juno, I can't believe this! I admired you! Why would you risk dying alongside some fake prince?
Now, the question is, did they mean thick because he's beefy, or do they mean thick because he's dumb?
I don't intend on dying with anyone. Besides, I'm still me, whoever I'm standing with.
Hey, you chief! Weren't you the wretch who got kicked out of the knighthood? Now you're with this pack of throne chasers. Shame. Shame! Mustari girl! You ungrateful pagan! Count Luis brought down the Sanctus Church for you!
How dare you strike out at him?
They're all traitors, I say!
What is all this? The truth of the prince hardly matters to them. Every one of them's only concerned with their own emotions, and nothing else.
Weird.
We'll have your heads on pikes soon enough. Leave! Get out of our royal capital!
If they're just monsters, we can deal with them ourselves. How about it?
This is bad. They really are out for our blood. Has everyone gone insane?
Oi! Over here! Don't bother with them! No talking this one out. You need to run! Now!
He's our third Deus Ex Machina character.
We weren't away from the city that long. What happened? Why are all the people so bloodthirsty now?
The prince turning into a monster before their eyes still lingers in their minds. After all, a monster entered into their society disguised as a person.
No, that's not...
I know, it's not true. But truth and how it appears to the citizens are different beasts. Moreover, humans have been sighted closer than ever before. The royal capital's populace is unused to danger, so they've become suspicious of each other. How fares your neighbor? And do you run in circles with monsters in disguise? Are questions on the tip of every tongue. Ever since Forden's death, Luis has everyone on a knife edge. He's erratic, and nobody knows how he'll react to those who defy him if push comes to shove.
Right.
So, at the core of it, people are scared witless, and they cling to Luis as a savior, rather than the devil he is.
You well know that Luis cares not one whit about social status, especially as a token of birthright. No amount of wealth or standing can buy his protection. So even those who may have opposed him at first now counsel that condemning him would be imprudent, as it puts their safety at risk.
Then we're stuffed. He won't save anyone, and oh yeah, he can create humans, by the way.
Oh, that's all true then. I have my suspicions, but it's still a bit of a jolt. This all said, in my humble opinion, what we're seeing in the people now has been in the works for some time. Now, has the tournament for the throne truly ever been a fair contest? The Sanctus Church bent it to its whim, and I abetted that. To my shame. Before I met you people, I didn't have much to me but anger and quips, Yeah, I'd rant and snipe and have my cynical little discourse, but I'd only looked to others for change.
I love how he pretends like all these people pretend like they changed as people, but then they act the exact same way they did before their big change.
Now maybe that outlook's our real enemy. Blind fanaticism, like I had. Even if there's no malice to it, it's a dangerous thing. Hard to think clear when your mind's a muddy stream.
We've been told Magla is born from people's anxiety. Perhaps the proof is now before our eyes.
I mean, for me and Gallica, we can see it. It's literally red
Kind
now
of
instead
ironic.
of here.
But we have to do something about it. If we don't, they'll never listen. We'll only ever be seen as an enemy.
I had the inn prepared. They won't let anyone in but you lot. Let's head there for now, shall we?
Yeah, give me my save point, because we are done for today. Unfortunately, we have like a month left. Nurse is heading back to the Gauntlet Runner. It seems like the city has calmed down, at least a tiny bit. They've had a hard time wrecking our Gauntlet Runner, but we shouldn't chance it. We should make our way to the Hushed Honeybee. Everyone else has already gone ahead. Now, this is what I want to do next, is we're going to talk to more the next time we play. Now, I don't know when we're going to do that. I plan on doing a lot of PoE and a lot of Marvel Rivals over the next week or so. I'm thinking either one day or one evening this week of doing Metaphor. What do you think would be a good time for that, Leechy? I'm leaving it up to you. Well, not 100% up to you, obviously, but I want your opinion. And I'm going to pay for your opinion with Henry. It's a straight up kitty cat bribe. Yep. Kitty bribe. All the kitty bribe. Hi. It is Henry. Yes. Okay, so the plan is tonight. I've already got the download for Marvel done. No. The options are sometime next week. Tomorrow is going to be Path of Exile. They're doing a thing where 2 subs gifted to someone that is streaming Path of Exile gets you a free pet. And it's kind of a high quality pet. So we're kind of expecting a lot of subs and stuff to go to people that are playing Path of Exile. A lot of streams that normally don't play games or like play games like that will also be streaming it to try to get the little extra bump there of people getting their pet. And not to be chasing the meta or whatever, but if I want the channel to grow, there's a good chance I could get an extra sub or 10 or whatever from this event. There's been people that have gone from streaming to like 2 people to streaming to like 400 because of these events. It's kind of like playing the lottery. There's a good chance this is not going to come from anything. We're just going to play Path of Exile and then, people might pop in, pop out, whatever. But I do want to at least be a part of the event to the point of I might even play it over the weekend with like just heavily altered mic presence. Like I'll cut out a little bit, then you won't be able to hear the kids. But sometime next week, say Tuesday to Friday, thinking of doing a Metaphor run, either during the day on the normal stream or at night. I'm thinking during the day because you and I both know we're in a ton of streams in the afternoon, and I don't really want to like pull you away from that just so you can see the end of the story, just so I can play Path of Exile in the morning, because I can always just play that at night. So my thought is sometime Tuesday to Friday in the mornings, one day next week, we will beeline the story, ignore everything else like the side stuff, just so we can see the stories. Well, I say everything else. We're going to do all the companion stories and the main story. I'm not doing all the optional bosses. I'm going to make a save point, and we'll come back and do the optional bosses at another time. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. That's what I figured. We do need to find a... I know. My phone's like, get off your stream now. Never. What is wrong with me? It's like when every time I'm Henry, I overact like so much. It's kind of silly. Oh gosh, the PC game show is showing up. I need to hurry. Let's go see Cinefrost. She's playing Infinite Nikki. It's another gacha game with very jiggly assets. Very bouncy. Actually, no, Infinity Nikki might be the cuter one. There's one that's like a dress-up game where you like take care of like creatures and stuff. That might actually be Infinity Nikki. Either way, I'm actually thinking about playing this one because it looks super cute. So let's go see how it is. And I'll catch y'all tonight. Bye. Bye, someone. I did it wrong. Everything's broken. It's all burning down.